boys, but that is all good.
Man, he is,
It was a stretch one, that's why it was only a quarter unit.
Immediately at level 1.
Yeah, pop the cleanse there. Down 1 summoner spell.
All right, let me look at comps.
Gonna recall. Jan is gonna recall. They'll have plenty of time, so not super long-lasting effects here off of it, but no cleanse. We'll see if that actually ends up getting punished. It's a pretty short cooldown. It is going to be the standard here, though, for River, just like we saw on
I think
Brand.
TL just...
Start top side with your AP and
I mean,
towards
it's
the
such
side,
a weird...
I always mention this with Zyra. It's not as important as... it's not as important as, like, Shaco, but the early...
this comp...
is always quite nice. And they're going to do more than just pop the seeds here.
Yeah.
They want to take the blue buff.
They're going all the way. Core JJ.
Yeah.
But
nice cue from Sniper. That was a nice little chunk.
I like that. I like that. They're just trying to de-aggro the buff. Just get it to reset. Sniper and River are calling. All right, just let it go. Let it go. River's going to go down to his other side of the jungle instead.
Yeah, full lane swap here. And so
I'm just going to go and put it on 2-0 for TL. I don't see a world where 100 Thieves wins this game.
You do not get to be top laners. You have to roam Summoner's Rift. And look for your true purpose, which is...
yeah, I'm going to put it on 2-0 for the win.
Yeah, either to help your jungle clear or just trying to be annoying to enemy mid laners. K'Sante can't be very annoying to enemy mid laners, so Impact is going to try his best. Just
You're not scared about that level 1 unprimed in Tofo strike hitting you for 75 damage?
Look at the top laners. Wait, go back to the top laners. This is funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Impact just ran right by a Sniper. They're chasing each other around. They know. They know the other one. Neither of them really have much to do. So, Impact has slunk his way towards mid, but he's only level 1. Uh-oh.
Okay, he's gonna go after River.
Wait a second
you said
here,
he's
buddy.
level 1. So level 3 Zyra. Impact is still level 1. He's gonna try to get a. That was not
That's
good.
payback for last game, buddy.
That is first blood. That is first blood for Quid. That was
check the PayPal.
A regretful decision from our previous game's raid boss.
Yeah, it looks like he's been demoted for this game.
All right, Impact. Let's see how you bounce back from this one. He does at least teleport back underneath the tier 1 turret in time to catch the EXP for most of this wave, but it is still pretty hard for him to walk up and try to farm any of it. You can see he's still at 1 farm now.
Yeah, I think that's our best interest.
A little bit more palatable, as Sniper is at least getting a little bit of farm for himself on the other side of the rift.
Let's see. APA teleport back off that.
Impact recall even got canceled. Oh, it's such a rough early game for Impact in this one, man. If you're in this spot, this just sucks. You do not want to be feeling like this. Almost 4 minutes into the game. He's got 1 farm. He's level 2. And since he already teleported down to bot lane, now the bottom lane is back there. They're like, yeah, sorry, buddy, you need to go back up top now. So he's just spending all his time getting that cardio in.
At least his jungler is like, here you go. I will hold the wave right in front of tower. I won't take it. Tries to make it at least a little bit playable for Impact as he will walk back towards his tower. APA versus Quid. This is quite interesting because like Ezreal has been emerging as this Quid main pick. Not the other mid laners in the LCS don't feel as enthusiastic about this pick as Quid himself does. And then of course APA's signature champ. So I want to see which one will actually come out on top as APA gets to call 2 other members of TL to come help him out.
Remember though, Ezreal's really good at using that arcane shift to buffer away from Alistar, and so the Alistar just leaves.
Yeah, and in lane swap scenarios, you always have a whole side of the map to play to.
Yup.
Your side is the other half of the map, and they've got wards on it.
The Ashe Seraphine combination is so annoying.
More important to their team, I would say, probably Quid.
Slow you down a little bit with that volley, and then it's so easy for Seraphine.
That's nothing against APA, but they also have like E on JJ and Impact, like and Umpty. Like that's a much stronger team than Meech, Ayla, River, and Sniper.
He's down to 300 HP, and Umpty's coming around from behind. Meech flashing away from the W there on Umpty, gets himself back to safety. Team Liquid The 2v2 wasn't looking so great, but the jungle pressure ends up turning things back around for him here a little bit, but some nice return damage on the back end of the play from 100 Thieves, as River is now going to find Umpty here in the tri-brush.
He didn't find shit.
Force him back into the lane, taking a long way back into his own jungle.
Honestly, if they're able to defend, but Quid is coming over, so I don't know if they will be able to defend. Goal here for TL is to soak the wave, but Quid is on the way. Here comes the Ezreal.
All right, what are we going to see from 100 Thieves? This is a 4-man play, but it's 3 from TL. CoreJJ going in for the engage as Meech is the target. Mega Inferno Bomb from all the way back in the jungle. Umpty's going to grab the kill credit. 3.5v4, Team Liquid comes out on top.
From downtown, I love it. Ziggs is the lazy mid laner's champion. You don't have to roam all the way.
Yeah,
down.
so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the background while
down the river,
we're playing a game. I think that's gonna be the way we go.
And APA hits the ulti there. Plus, you get the best of both worlds. Juicy turret plate money.
There it is. One more. Nice. And man, for Ziggs, it's even nicer because you know that once you get it low, you don't even have to care anymore. Just throw the stupid satchel charge at it, and kaboom, you're going to be enjoying all sorts of extra gold in those pockets. 100 Thieves was up over 1,000 gold before that play, but now things are pretty much back to even.
Yeah, I mean, the entire team there trying to overcome the deficit that Impact put them in for Team Liquid. Impact is still down some, but it's not that crazy now. It's mostly like levels.
Right.
It's a little annoying. The break point right now, the next couple of seconds.
Oh boy.
He's so close to 6 though. If Impact gets like a minion.
Yep, that's what they're looking for. Or just bring up the boys, right? Get the whole crew in there. Umpty chasing after him. He's got his ulti ready, but Sniper's not too afraid just yet. He's made enough distance that he's gonna stay safe.
Yeah, good flash, necessary flash there. If Impact was able to get his level 6 and pop it right there, then Sniper would be in big trouble. So
Sure, why not?
These picking up those void grubs again. Okay. River annihilates those, and then you get a nice, tasty full clear back towards bottom side for River. Meanwhile, Sniper ran back into the W.
Ooh, man, you're not gonna be happy about that one, Sniper. The extra damage from APA is enough.
Damn.
And the Gator gets got. Nicely done from TL, taking the kill lead now.
Umpty there, tenacious, returns for another gank on the Sniper. They blew the flash the first time around. They get their kill this time around. Let's see about the full clear for Zyra though. Gonna end up down toward bottom side, towards that dragon. So 100 Thieves still have eyes on trying to play through the bottom side, through the objectives here.
Screw it. Yeah, we're gonna change
a lot of money picked up for Meech on the bottom side. They've got the void grubs for this push on turret plate too. So just melting through those things, really cashing in on the turret plate exchange.
And I really want to see if 100 Thieves tries to make a play here around this bottom lane duo soon, because one of the things I'm noticing, Ayla is very close to hitting level 6. You can see the EXP bar on the side about 80% of the way there. CoreJJ only just barely level 5, so there should be a window where 100 Thieves has that extra ultimate advantage, and we know how strong Seraphine's ulti is for making plays.
Yeah, and again, especially since Zyra was full clearing that time while the top side play went out, got the level advantage and should be able to have full bot priority here. So I'm imagining the next scenario to be 100 Thieves will be able to get their dragon, and then eventually they will be able to finish off this bottom side tower. So it should be like this delayed 2 objectives for 100 Thieves. Meanwhile, Umpty, you're kind of forced in a situation where you have to finish up your clear back to the other side of the map. You don't have ultimate or anything,
makes sense.
There's no way you're going to fight them off of their bot side game plan. So I think you just have to accept that 100 Thieves are going to be able to get these.
Yeah,
well, let's finish this while we're waiting.
Control of 100 Thieves. Jan wanted to shoot one of the Zeri lasers in there and just see if maybe he could get a turbo random lucky steal, but it ain't gonna happen. Drake secured for the side of 100 Thieves. And they're still up just a very, very small amount of gold. Umpty has that ulti ready to go on Sejuani yet again.
Dive, dive, dive.
Sniper is the target. Immediately pops the Dominus once he sees the Sage.
Pretty happy with how quickly I was able to do that.
But it's still so much firepower from Team Liquid. APA, 2 kills now as Quid gets jumped on back here in the mid lane. Jan going after him with the Zeri. Ain't gonna find enough to really threaten the kill, but Impact's in trouble down in the bottom side at the same time. Stranglethorns locks him up, throws him up. Ayla needs a little bit more damage to finish this one off. The high note ain't high enough, but River's gonna get it done with the Thorn.
Verse up, right, up, right, and verse up. Let's try to get this done real quick. Up, right, and verse, up, and verse, left, and verse, up, and verse, right, and verse, up, and verse, left. Got it very close.
taking that first objective there on the bottom side.
And the OG algorithm to finish this off.
You saw in the split there that they also got their kill onto Impact, so both top laners really
something like that.
Swap game this time around. Both 0-2 on the top lane camp.
Boom, boom. Let's run it, boys. Let's go win some bullshit-ass video games.
And River could be in a little bit of trouble. TP's going to come in to try to make it an even trade. But
And I hope that TL wins this game. Which they will, but...
needs to catch up a little bit faster if he wants to get a kill here. But Impact gets his mark and he gets away.
Another taunts from Impact. Back-to-back games where he's spamming the taunts. Even in this one where he actually gets to have some fun. He punishes River for the flash that River used to kill him in that long chase. So... revenge there for Impact, however small, does feel very good.
All right, jumping in after Quid here. Again, man, it's pretty hard to engage on Ezreal just because the champion is so easy to buffer through so many CCs with the Arcane Chef. But Yon and Core JJ is going to continue pushing things out here back in mid. and APA both coming down. This could be a really rough spot for 100 Thieves. They're not aware that Team Liquid's got the positioning that they do off to the side here. Team Liquid's ready for the ultimate collapse. River, Sniper, and Quid all trying to stay safe, but it ain't gonna work out too great. Immediately jumping in onto the Zyra, and APA goes on a killing spree. Yong's gonna get traded back. 100 Thieves makes it even here. Sniper barely staying alive with 300 HP left on the Renekton. Team Liquid, they're gonna claim 2 grubs overall.
Honestly, for 100 Thieves, that was pretty good. They still got to the 4 grubs. You just need to grab
next
one to be able to get your breakpoint now. So they got their 4 grubs. So going 1 for 1, losing River, but still getting the trade kill there onto Yon. Better than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, with the setup there, I thought that was going to be disaster for them. TL though, since they teleport Impact or APA down there, they'll be able to blow that tower up.
Yeah, let's take another look here at how this happened, because it did look really, really dicey for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and especially I want to point out that items were completed here. APA had Ludens while, Quid was still on pieces for Ezreal. So the Ludens explosion damage here on ultimate. Core JJ goes for the full lockup in Zyra, and then Yon, he only is able to jump that small wall there, and he just jumps the small wall into the Void Grubs, and the arrow does land from Meech, so they got their 1 for 1 kill and 1 Void Grub achieved to get to their 4 breakpoint. So not the end of the world here, 400 Thieves. Having 1 Dragon, 4 Void Grubs while facing the 1.2k gold deficit definitely is a position that they can still look for some sort of a comeback here. I will say though, APA on the Ziggs is going to be really hard to deal with. I mean, that's 3 kills for kill credit for him. He already had the Ludens for the burst last time around. The Ziggs burst is going to also be hard to avoid since you have Sejuani and Alistar holding people in place for a lot of this giant Ziggs bomb damage.
All right, Team Liquid's infiltrated the enemy jungle, seeing if maybe there's an opportunity for some playmaking here. Quid is the one to respond to the tier 2 push.
It's almost like LPL always wants to play the strongest champions to pit themselves against other people on the strongest champion to figure out who's the best ones.
Down to half HP with Quid looking to follow this one up over the wall. Core JJ could have tried to come in. He decides the better of it there with a Hex Flash. Quid does not end up getting the kill. Honestly, good for Team Liquid, keeping APA protected there.
Honor for Umpty here. He's got his locket completed, rushed to locket, and stands still right in front of APA after he got hit by the Ash Arrow and is able to get him out alive. So well done. General Umpty escorts his mid laner away, and that Ziggs is a critical kill because the bounty is on his head for those 3 kills that we mentioned earlier. And he's got his 2-item power spike. River though, ever the focused jungler, always focused on these objectives, always focused on trying to get his team to the victory march here. Right back into it, does at least get the Rift Herald and immediately pop it mid.
We've got Drake spawning here. The first one went over to 100 Thieves.
Interesting.
In mid.
Or JJ flanking? Is he gonna find something? I think they blue pinged him. Did they see him enter that brush?
Might have.
Yeah, River's sussing it out.
Yeah, he's aware something's gotta be going on here. 100 Thieves will not manage to secure the tier 1 turret over here in mid with that Herald.
Of course, it's another fucking Akali. What is up with the low elo Akalis everywhere?
Territory the entire time, but he gets found.
Yep, he's found Quid. Stuns him up here. Team Liquid looking for the collapse on the enemy mid. Quid staying safe for now, but everything's fogged up now. Quid barely getting away. Yawn going for the lightning crash, but it doesn't have enough damage. Sniper now in retreat too. Renekton's so very low. Quid shifting away from the potential explosion of the bouncing bomb. 100 Thieves, nobody died, but they're all so hurt. They're forced away from this bottom side river, forced away from this neutral objective.
Quid is literally Neo, dodging bullets in the Matrix here through the glitches. While Team Liquid, CoreJJ's patience actually paid off. Yawn has cleanse. Okay.
I should have gotten boots and a pot, or in 2 pots instead of longsword no pot, but it's what it is. Wanted to get to lane.
You mentioned it. The arcane shift, but the flash there used to get himself out alive. Team Liquid still claim their dragon for their trouble.
There it is for Team Liquid. Still feeling pretty good about staying here. Up 1,000 gold. Their opponents aren't. Drake stacks the game away from them. APA is about to grab another kill on another turret with another satchel. Ziggs is so deadly with these, man, and Sniper is about to get caught again. It has been a rough series for the 100 Thieves top laner.
I feel like is doing so much setup work this game. Him and CoreJJ. Let's see if Core gets this one too.
Oh man, where's he at?
Good hover there from Meech. He's got his control wards up to his top side, so he plays up to his top side. His whole team is to his top side. It's basics, but you gotta keep focused on those
fundamentals.
Yeah, gotta get those fundamentals. So CoreJJ fishing around, doesn't find anything there, but already did. On bottom side, they were able to finish off that kill onto Sniper and more money into APA's pockets. Man, this Ziggs is just loaded here. Another needlessly large rod. The APA keeps on scaling.
Yeah.
APA Ziggs, man. This champion is so effective at just snowballing a lead, being able to hyper accelerate the pacing of the turret specifically. Team Liquid already has all 3 outer turrets down on the 100 Thieves side, and you know they're good. Or excuse me, 2 turrets down in the bottom lane. Thank you, observers. Yep, see, observers are like, no, not quite yet, not quite yet. But that mid lane tier 1 will be the next thing on the menu if Team Liquid has their way. 100 Thieves looking to get some control of this top side river. There's nothing really here to fight for. Just about 18 minutes of the game. The Herald is already taken. Ash arrow lands. Once again, APA the target. True shot barrage. Ain't gonna hit. And Meech goes too far. CoreJJ and Yawn get the punish.
Team Liquid collapsing around their mid lane to get the kill on the Meech. Yawn doesn't have cleanse anymore.
Yawn's trying to get away, and he will successfully escape. Once again, Sniper. Wrong place, wrong time. Feels good for Team Liquid, though.
Wow, guess what? Impact is pushing bottom side, too, so this is going to be a 4-1 split push for Team Liquid right after that kill.
I'll take that for
Get
sure.
So much money. Impact is all the way up to the inhibitor tower.
Damn.
On bottom
That
side.
sucks.
While the rest of the team pushes on mid lane here. This is so rough for 100 Thieves. 14 seconds left on Sniper. Those minions are going to go into the inhibitor tower. Bunch of extra money picked up here for TL again. Slowly increasing this gold lead, Flowers.
This game looked so much closer during the early stages, and now, man, again, not even 20 minutes in, it's a 3,500 gold lead for TL. These guys are just outmaneuvering 100 Thieves at so many different spots.
Yeah.
I will say, no cleanse and flash on Yawn still. The cleanse gonna come up pretty shortly, so if they want to punish, might have to punish quickly, but no flash on the Zeri. Maybe that's a little ray of hope for 100 Thieves. They need to get a good Seraphine ult to bounce off of Sniper.
Yeah.
But Sniper is just so weak. He's so weak this game that he dies so fast. It's hard to really
interesting, boys. I'm glad I bet on TL to just 2-0 them. It's so clearly a TL favored game. I don't know what's wrong with their macro.
You've got Sejuani and you've got Alistar versus
over there at 100 Thieves, but it's not
not
great.
Champion. There is nobody else who can do the job. The one guy who can do it is set so far behind that anybody on 100 Thieves is a viable pick if Team Liquid sets up for it.
Certainly are, and their eyes are on the same pick over and over and over.
Alligators are going to become an endangered species by the end of this game, man. Sniper is just in trouble once more. Yawn and Impact, they make it look easy, man. Umty's hanging around in the Baron pit because he knows that the play for 100 Thieves might be to try to sneak that, but instead, Team Liquid's coming around. They're looking to make a move of their own. Umty and Impact going in for the initial engage. Stranglethorns ain't gonna find a whole lot. Mega Inferno Bomb chunking Meech down to half, and the damage from APA is massive, but it's Umty who dies first. 100 Thieves get one kill, but they gotta be careful here. They know the health bars are low. Honestly, Well navigated by them. They survive the engage from the Team Liquid front line, and they get a punish on back.
It's really good awareness by 100 Thieves. They recognize that Yon is not there, the Zeri towards bottom side of the map, so they fight their way out in the 4v4 that's up there. Even with the teleport in from Impact, nice job recognizing and using their focus fire of range damage to actually take down Umpty. No flash on Umpty either this time around. So 100 Thieves, we saw some good comeback plays from them in the first game, even though they didn't actually accomplish a full comeback.
Yeah,
they had some nice moments towards the mid stages of the game to keep Team Liquid honest and really threaten them. So we'll see if they can do it again here. That's one kill, but you've got your 2-item power spike for Quid. This is mid-Ezreal gameplay now. With Flash available, with your Muramana transformed, Quid is dangerous.
Quid on that Ezreal, gonna have to step up and do some serious heavy lifting if 100 Thieves wants to bring this one back to even ground against TL. We got the Hex Drake seemingly in the sights of Team Liquid. Snipers all the way down in the bottom lane. That could be a flank, but again, so
yeah, that was way too obvious, buddy. How do you only have level 4 too? Goddamn.
If it's not timed
it's not great.
APA on the Ziggs doing a great job just throwing down
for him,
poke, making 100 Thieves always be aware how far forward they can step. As one Zyra plant over the wall, going to go ahead aggro that Drake, but it's still Team Liquid with control over the bot side river as a whole. The Scuttle Crab secured by Yarn.
Yeah, TL's got this one in the bag. I mean, there's what, 3K up.
Standing right next to the blast cone, ready to jump.
He got 4 tower. Yeah, I don't know.
Throwing out minefields towards the 100 Thieves position. Sniper having to go all the way around. Look at the read. It's going to be a smite fight here for the Drake, and it's going to be stolen by Umpty. The General makes the call, and Sniper gets caught again. 100 Thieves are trying to get out, but their top laner ain't going with them. APA picks up another. And it looks like 100 Thieves are going to just cut their losses and head home.
I like that from Sniper. He throws out the, or excuse me, not Sniper.
I was going to say, now wait, hold on, what part did you like?
I like it from Umpty.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sorry, brother.
Umpty threw out the ulti onto River to stop any combo on the dragon. And so then he's able to combo his W with his smite to give away the dragon there.
All right. That's
bit of a slip.
Yep, it happened. It happened. We've all had some rough games here before. Let's take another look at how this went down, because it was a pretty extended engagement.
All right, so here it is. Umpty, he blast cones over, then he throws out the ulti, and then he W combos with his smite. I believe it was transformed anyways. I saw 1100 health, so that was pure smite. But anyways, they're able to get their extra top lane camp as well afterwards, Flower. Core JJ had been marking Sniper the whole time.
Yep.
You mentioned at the onset of the dragon, he found him in the Tri-Brush combo there. They got the ultimate out. Core JJ has just been all over the place on this Alistar, controlling the battlefield nicely.
Yeah, the displacement can be so frustrating because you get knocked hit by the Alistar.
I'm getting a lot of attention from Zix, which is kind of nice. Daddy needs attention. I don't know why the fuck I said that. I've been watching too much Himium.
It was 3,500 gold lead.
Oh dear lord.
About 5 minutes ago, and it hasn't really changed since then. So they haven't been letting TL take more and more and more from them. But at the same time, they haven't managed to close that distance either. Still eyes on River, eyes on Quid.
Got it.
Remember that both
Yes,
these
sir.
guys were first team All-Pro back in spring. Quid being MVP. Hitting some shots here on the Ezreal. Yawn sees the arrow coming, sidesteps away from that one, but still down so low on health. Has to continue his retreat. With the arcane shift away from the wave, but the Mega Inferno Bomb just stopping the push. Core JJ, it's Metal Gear Alistar. He is behind enemy lines. He has infiltrated the jungle. Who is going to be caught, or will it just be him? Is it a game over for our Cal? No, he's out.
They send out the hawk shot. They see him, but they can't do anything about it. TL frontline looking for a pick, as always, pushing up here through the jungle, the little roundabout. Meanwhile, Impact is able to continue split pushing on top side. Is able to push Sniper back, and it looks like that's just going to be the call here. Impact does that.
That was easy.
So they'll get the reset.
All right.
Hello guys, want to say hi to Serena?
Next Drake, 2 minutes.
She coming to sit over off the side and chill out for a second with us.
Super powerful Seraphine ultis. Meat's trying to cleanse away from the engage of Yawn and Umpty, but it's APA yet again with the bombs to explode those 100 Thieves health bars. Team Liquid get their pick. It's the enemy AD carry. It's both of his summoner spells already used. Sniper goes in for the flank, but immediately just has to reconsider his decisions as Team Liquid wasn't having any of it.
From downtown again, it's Core JJ that goes through the jungle, gets the combo, and allows the Ziggs bomb to land there. Meech down, no summoner spells. DL onto Baron. Let's see what tools we have left here. Impact does have ultimate, so Core JJ wants to mark River, and then if he gets somehow past
My
Core
lovely,
JJ, maybe he does.
my
Impact
lovely
can always
housemates
pull
here, my
River
girlfriend,
away as
she
well.
is making me dinner
man,
because
Team
she is
Liquid's
the
already-
sweetest human
they should
ever.
already have this one. Core JJ gets stunned up by the Ash Arrow all the way away. The Baron is down to 1,000 HP. It's going to be secured by Umpty as Impact drags the Seraphine back over the wall. 100 Thieves trying to scramble and make this fight still work, but Impact has already killed off River, and they're still looking for more. Ayla wants to flash away with a Mega Inferno Bomb, still catching
Damn
him,
it.
and Yawn completes the job. Quinn makes a double kill for Yawn, and Team Liquid got Baron +3. The previous fight, the flash from the Gator, from the Plant, from the Ezreal, from the Archer, from everybody, all got spent. There was nothing left for any of these dudes to get away from Team Liquid.
Yeah, and those towers aren't going anywhere either. They pick up the mid lane tower. No flash on tower. The tower goes down. There's also no flash on Dragon. I think the Dragon's probably
There's Dragon. Stop wasting summoners.
God
Let's take
damn
a
it.
Look at how this happened.
All right. Bonk.
It's fine. We'll be fine.
Arrow was looking at the Baron bit, but as I said, Impact is going to mark River. And so Impact just locks up River, hits him with the Q3 into the ult, and
Wait a second.
I've seen this before.
Sad.
I feel like, did we rewind the game? Because I feel like we've seen this happen.
They're wearing
time
Baron
again.
buff this time, so it's a little bit different.
Okay,
It's like
okay.
the chroma of the previous play.
It's like spot the
Purple
difference
vision?
in these two pictures.
Yeah,
and it's the, okay, they have Baron in this
100
one.
at 13, not quite what I want. I'd prefer to be up a little bit more.
Meech and Ayla could be in a pretty compromised spot here. Umpty coming around, throws out the Glacial Prison, immediately connects on Meech. Remember, those summoner spells still down from a couple of fights ago. Yawn's on a rampage. Team Liquid looking like they are going to get this one closed out pretty quickly from this point.
This team just look like they have been on a war path since coming back from
Yeah, they have been.
MSI. Man, they've
He
gotten
ain't
so
lying
good.
there.
They've retained the learnings from MSI and are steam rolling.
My God, man. That center super damage from APA's Mega Inferno Bomb is enough to get another kill. This
I
time on
mean,
Ayla. Next
NA
turn
just
on
plays
the
too
target,
slow,
28 minutes
I
into the
feel
game.
like.
100 Thieves has to try to scramble to defend this in a
Well, by slow, it's just like they're not playing proactively the way that like Korea. You know what's coming every single time because they're just about to smash through somewhere. Like watching, of course, the other team doesn't always know, but they're so decisive.
They don't even need to pad the stats. 18-4. Team Liquid clean sweeps 100
1
Thieves.
second, literally 1 second.
Look how far we've
All right.
come to. APA and Yawn.
Yeah, that's
the only
fine.
carries you need. Everybody else on tanks. Team Liquid smash this game. APA gets his Ziggs. He doesn't die the entire time.
Nope.
Teammates are setting up his bombs the whole game. And Team Liquid make this second one look so easy.
All right, the series is wrapped up. Let's head down to chat on stage.
Thank you very much, guys. Impact and Umpty after starting the series 3-0. Impact, first of all, game one on Mordekaiser, a classic pick, but also I wanted to congratulate you. Last week you became the winningest LCS player of all time. Did that mean anything to you?
Okay, I feel great because that means like I'm consistently good player, showing that like I'm a I guess good LCS player. So I'm really happy that I got it.
I mean, congratulations, passing every LCS player who's ever played in the LCS, and that's after winning the World Championship. But Umpty, how are you liking Sejuani so
Jesus
far this year? I
Christ.
feel like you're getting a lot of Sejuani time.
I would
Is there
absolutely
any
adore
champion
it.
without Sejuani and Maokai?
if my Morgana didn't commit to die and then my
And I think
jungler
it's just like,
didn't commit
it's not
to
fucking
do
anything,
nothing
but I just think
ever.
Sejuani and Maokai is just OP, man.
Like,
And this series against 100 Thieves, I know last regular season you guys were a bit frustrated because they beat you in the regular season. How good did it feel to take them down 2-0?
of course, their tryst gets ended, and
Actually,
I
just think
get
that 100 Thieves is a good
fucked
team.
by
I just think
Perma
they're
2v1.
the like most famous team of
Okay.
like a Joker picks. So I think they're just good. So I'm just like feeling very happy. Yeah.
And Impact coming off the LCS title, a decent showing in MSI, taking down Fnatic, and also being first place in the league. How do you stay motivated for the rest of the split, and who do you see as your biggest competition?
Now I guess it's Fnatic because we have to play against them now next week, and I think they were really hungry against us.
God, I
because
love
they got
Impact.
shit on against us. So that's our goal now, to not lose to Europe. That's my goal now.
Fair enough. Congratulations once again on the win, and best of luck in the rest of the LCS season. That's
Well,
it. Here from the
hopefully
stage.
Mord can
Let's head into
carry.
the lounge. I'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the LCS Lounge. I am here with Raz. Raz, you ready to see who got Player of the Series?
Let's go for it. We
I
got Sarah
actually
with us
don't know.
too.
We vote, and then they just don't tell us who wins until we see players pop up.
Yeah. I will say though, the teddy bear is taking the spot of Jack. So what are you gonna do?
You like to drop ticket. I don't know. Okay. As we can see, as Raz dropped it, teddy bear, Fox ended up Player of the Series for Series 1.
Okay.
And then our boy, Impact, the man in the top lane.
The most winningest top lane
Yeah.
as we got. I saved this spot for you. It was being invaded by the teddy
The
bear.
teddy bear, yeah.
So
It was really nice to hear from Impact. Obviously, in that interview you just did chat with, especially him being like, this means that I'm consistently a good player.
Yeah,
and we kind of touched upon that. We're like, he's just consistently a good player. Pulled out the Mordekaiser into the Skarner in game 1, the Impact special.
Yeah. I think game 2 bought a lot of space with the Santos, even if it was more of a lane Ziggs game. But
Yeah.
still, it's all about player of the series. And he's consistently good. He's just so consistently good.
Neither top laner was that.
he hates this
Top, I
lane
think.
posture, top lane attacks him, but he powered through it. That's the thing about
Yeah.
Team Liquid is, like, it doesn't matter if you get set behind in the early portions of the game or something, they will always find a way back.
Yeah.
Their fundamentals are way too good, so I mean, he's a piece of that. He gets the player of the series. We'll see if that means he gets player of the week. Look, we have another day.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. We got highlights from today, though, already. Let's take a look back at Palafox's series, this interview when they took down Immortals. Very, very, very important
How are we
series.
starting it with this?
Okay, so
Because this was...
neither dive ended up well, right? Chad and I kind of covered that on cast. So we're
Oh
just
my
like-
God, we're showing off a bad play.
Neither of these dives ended up well, but you persevere through adversity. I think the other big thing is that we kind of touched upon in cast. There was not a lot of interference in the Aurelion Soul lane, right? So
Right.
Palafox actually was able to scale up quite well, and then when it came to some of these team fights, the ASOL was able to have a pretty good impact.
Yeah, and I make fun of it, but like, we saw some of the guys a little earlier on, they were just making some content, and just making jokes around how, like, they have a tough time dealing with IMT throughout the year.
True.
And they ended up still taking the win. The last time was when Goku was playing Dame Top, had a really poor early game, but they ended up still finding a way to win. This one, they found a great way to win. Now we're looking at the Team Liquid 100 Thieves series.
11 kills on Mordekaiser. We started 9-0. First team to beat Skarner in the LCS. They do it easily. And then this game, as we talked about at the very start of this segment, was so much about the Team Liquid fundamentals, just having the correct setup for all their fights. So this game, even if they haven't been getting a lot of early, he just gets so much gold. Yeah. He just always shows.
And I think the big thing behind that speaks to Team Liquid's ability to play the map really well, right? Because they're saving a lot of these sideways, making sure APA is catching them, and also one thing that we've pointed out with the Tristana, I feel like applies to Ziggs. They're really, really good at rotating either the Trist or the Ziggs around the map to take turrets. And I mean, you can even see them doing it when they play Lucian as well. Lucian bot with Yon.
We're just leveling an account, chill vibes. If anybody's lurking right now.
Top lane, as you mentioned, was the first loss that Skarner ended up taking, and I felt like was just a great showing that we got.
I'm gonna go bot here
again for Impact, whereas the Ziggs pick into Ezreal, I think, is a really smart idea.
I don't think I can 1v1 her at this point.
You're not gonna get harassed that much.
I mean, I am an item up, but
in the late game, and they ended up picking the win.
I still think that she just kicks my ass. I need my IE into Lord
They're
Doms, and
guaranteed
then I
at
can
least a
probably
tie
fight
for
her
first
into a
going into
Bloodthirster
the
or
break,
something like
because
that.
Cloud9 will have to 2-0 tomorrow in order to keep pace and tie for first. Also really important there that Energy didn't start 0-3. That's important for them.
Sure.
Looking forward to tomorrow, Shopify will also want to avoid.
Oh my God, she actually hit that.
It's going to be a tall task against Cloud9. I hear JoJo Gun's going to pull off a big comeback tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah, Elon told me that. Dig and Fly will also be
Crazy
the
how when a
biggest
jungler
match.
shows up,
I'm
things
so
start to
hyped
happen.
Dig versus Fly match.
That has to be the match.
I won't be too salty. I get it. He's Graves. He can't do that much.
Yeah,
Tomorrow we do have Dignitas versus FlyQuest, which we're planning on watching, which is going to be a lot of fun. Let's find something to listen to in the background.
Maybe we should shoot faster. Your turret has been destroyed. Let me get in there. An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, Navori feels really fucking good.
Who wears a helmet? An ally has been slain. I just need a point in the right direction. Wanna see the fireworks? Your team has destroyed the turret.
The walnuts. Why? Why did he do that? He just fucked all of us by doing that.
A Vandal Gunner never turns tail, unless it's to taunt you. Your turret has been destroyed. You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
I think that was worth it. I don't know. We're gonna listen to this one. Surely Blizzard doesn't mess this up.
Season of Discovery Phase 4. This is level 60 shit. This is what we've all been waiting for. This whole time, it's been all to this. Let's see it.
Hi everyone. I'm Clay Stone, Associate Production Director of WoW Classic. Welcome to our Season of Discovery Phase 4 preview. It is time. At long last, we're raising the level cap to 60 and jumping into the endgame. For those of you who have been playing since launch, thank you for going on this journey with us. And to those of you just jumping in, now that the full level up experience is available, you've picked a great time to join us. I also want to give a massive
I like the
shout out
idea
to everyone
of
who is opting
re-releasing
to
a
our
game before the patches and shit,
ever
and then
Season of
keep it on
Discovery
going from there.
PTR.
That's
Help
actually
us
a
test
really
and
cool
tune
idea.
all of the changes
And
and
it would
additions
make them
coming
money
classes.
without
Your
it needing
feedback
to be
has been
subscription or battle
invaluable
pass
in
based.
helping us prepare. Even though the PTR was focused on classes, we know many of our eagle-eyed players saw hints at the content changes we're making to Endgame. And it's time for us to talk about some of those today. So, let's take a look at what we'll be covering.
Just decent.
We'll kick things off with content at 60. then jump into raid information, followed by some important itemization updates, then dive into world event updates as well as some system updates and more, which you're definitely going to want to stick around for.
Yeah,
All
damn,
right.
that's a lot of
So
stuff.
whether you're already familiar with classic era content, or you're experiencing it for the first time with Season of Discovery, or you just want a refresher, raising the level cap to 60 brings with it a ton of
Okay,
new
I
content
gotta
and
go
things to do,
somewhere where I'm not getting
including
fucking
access to all WoW Classic zones,
over
like the Burning
pushed into
Steppes,
3 of them.
Eastern
That
and
was my
Western
fault for being
Plaguelands,
way too
Silithus,
overextended.
and Winterspring. You'll also be able to finally max out your character talents. In addition, the Aldrich Valley Battleground will also be unlocked.
What?
Epic mounts will be available to collect, and more. Also, all of the classic dungeons will now be available, including
BRD.
Skullman's, Strathholm, all 3 wings of Dire Maul, and Blackrock Spire. And
so they're not staggering out Dire Maul.
Because the bosses have stopped spending their time in Phase 3 socializing in the Grim Guzzler Tavern, the second half of the massive Blackrock Depths dungeon. In addition,
there it is.
there just might be one more dungeon surprise we're not going to talk about today.
A Fellwood dungeon. Holy shit, look at this.
In addition, there just might be one more dungeon surprise.
Oh my god, look at this. This is awesome.
Going to talk about
Whoa,
today,
my
but we're
fingers are on the
excited
wrong
for players
keys.
to discover. Switching gears to a quick note about runes. Since we've had the PTR up for the past few weeks, none of the runes are a complete secret. So we aren't going to be spending a lot of time in this presentation talking about runes or classes.
Okay, great.
We will be posting a rundown of new runes and class adjustments separately from this video, so please check the official World of Warcraft forums for that. Moving on to raids. As we previously announced, the Molten Core raid will be scaled down to 20 players, and will contain adjustments to the boss encounters across the 11 bosses for you to take on. Just gonna leave.
I'm gonna be curious to see what that is. For me personally, I really like the idea of 40-man raids because it feels more like a spectacle. 20-man raids don't have that same vibe.
Leave that there.
Please
we
play
are
it.
very
Of course I wanna
excited
play
for
this.
everyone to hop in and get their hands on
He
the brand
played
new
out of vision
revamped
really well
tier
there.
one sets that now have multiple
I didn't know if he was coming
different
for me or not.
specializations and playstyles
Wow.
that each class has access to.
Holy
Tier sets
shit.
aren't the only place we've made improvements, with many non-set items also getting a hefty overhaul as well.
Okay.
Lastly, we are excited to announce that we will be having a scalable difficulty system in Molten Core, allowing players
I think this is a terrible idea, by the way.
to turn up the heat inside and face ever-growing challenges. Some aspects of
Classic WoW is not about scaling difficulty. I think that it's antithetical to what Classic is. I think it's silly, right? Why? So we're doing LFR Heroic and Mythic again? Like, why? Like,
Has been destroyed.
Why do this?
this system were visible on the PTR, and we've enjoyed listening to speculation and, most importantly, your comments and feedback around this new difficulty system.
All right, let's hear it.
Potential reward structure. As we've been listening to this feedback, we've wanted to let you know that raising the heat level will not affect the quality of rewards. The quality will remain consistent as the difficulty goes up. Instead, it will increase the quantity of rewards.
Why?
Has been slain.
Why not just have it be a challenge mode? Like, people already do challenge mode speedruns in Classic WoW. They don't get better rewards for that. They just do it because it's fun. It's SOD, not Classic. If you want Classic, go play Classic. Well, they wanted feedback, right? This is my feedback. It's also not retail either. If you want retail, go play retail.
Making some of the more valuable drops in the raid appear more often. In general, you don't want to heavily gate the best quality gear behind high difficulty content in Season of Discovery.
But you are, because if you have a higher quantity, there's going to be a higher probability. Like, if you... If you kill a boss 10 times, the chances of you getting the mount are higher than if you kill him 5 times. Because there's more rolls that you're making. You are going to get better at gear if you do it more. That's the way it works. It's not? Yes, it is. So, every single piece of gear is a roll, whether it drops or not, right? So, if you have 5 rolls, the probability of you getting a piece of gear that you want is lower than if you have 10 rolls. Obviously. Like, what are we talking? I'm losing my mind.
Get in my way.
as we really just don't think that's what the season is about. But if you do want to push yourself, you will find additional challenges and perhaps be able to gear up a tiny bit faster. Onyxia's lair has also seen some significant
Okay, so then you can gear up faster, right? Okay, there it is. And you'll get better gear.
loot overhauls as well. And while Onyxia has misplaced her stockpile of tier 2 helms, she is going to have plenty of juicy loot for you to chase in its place. We are also taking a new approach for raid size with Onyxia, as she will ultimately be tuned to be completed with 20 players, but the allowable raid size
she
is up
always
to
was.
40 players. We love 40 player raiding.
I mean, she's tuned for 20 players. I feel like she's always been tuned for 20 players. Let's be honest.
But we think it ultimately works best as a soda and pretzels type of content. In other words, the same level of difficulty you come to expect from Classic. So, if you are forming a pickup group and want to ensure quick success, you can bring 40 players. But if you are running with your guild, 20 players may make more sense to maximize your rewards. World bosses have had an
See, that's smart. That's the way you should do it.
interesting history in World of Warcraft, particularly in early versions of WoW, where they were hotly contested and created
Damn, that was a massive wave that we all
let's
missed.
say,
That
interesting
killed
player
2
interactions.
towers,
While we
or
love this
got 1
intense
tower and
competition
almost
in
killed
Classic
another.
2019,
That's
one
sad.
drawback to
I
the
should have
content
just
is that
backed
due
and
to
gone
its
top,
limited
even though I was
availability,
walking
it
bot.
tended to
I
be
knew that
content
going
that
bot was a
most
bad
players
idea.
never got to
They're always
meaningfully
playing around the bot lane in
We
this
aim to
game.
make it a bit more accessible in Season of Discovery by instancing the content off and handling it similarly to what we just discussed with Onyxia. The raids will be tuned for 20, but can be done with
Glad
up
we
to
got the
40
red buff,
players
but, like,
to make
come
it
on,
friendly
bro.
to both organized groups and pickup groups. Related to these changes,
How can Kazakh be pug friendly if he kills somebody and it heals him? Like, that's a lot.
and to talk all things loot, I'll turn it over to our lead engineer on Classic, Nora Valletta. Take it away, Nora.
Thanks, Clay. We're excited to share some of the cool new loot you'll find in Phase 4 of Season of Discovery.
All right, let's
First,
see it.
Let's check out some of the new dungeon
By the way, I think these decisions are bad.
you'll find in Phase 4. We've got Iron Foe, which has had its level increased to 58 and now grants 18 attack power when equipped. Next, we've got Idol of Exsanguination, which causes your lacerate ticks to energize you for 5 rings.
Okay, fairy
Totem
stuff.
of the Flames reduces the cast time of your healing rain spell by 100%.
That's
Taking
crazy.
inspiration
Holy
from
shit.
players using the 3-piece set in Sunken Temple for shamans, we thought it might feel bad to completely lose that set bonus as an option. Having it be a totem you can swap on and off for fights
fuck that
made a lot
guy.
of sense here. Burst of
Okay,
Knowledge
that
has
sounds
had
smart.
its item level increased to 58, its spell power increased,
That's
Yeah, nice
insanely
work,
good.
Danny.
cooldown reduced from 15
That's crazy
Really good at Tristana,
Holy
guys.
fuck.
minutes.
Oh
down to
my
5
god.
minutes.
Hello.
Finally,
Wow.
we've got Libram of Holy Alacrity, which causes Holy Shock to reduce the cast time of your next 2 Holy Lights by 0.2 seconds. Our
That's pretty good, too.
Tier 0 dungeon and Tier 0.5 dungeon upgrade sets have seen a full overhaul as well. In original WoW, a basic dungeon set of 8 items dropped in max level dungeons, and an epic quest chain was introduced in later patches to upgrade those items into a higher quality version
was
of that
easy.
set. In
Yep.
Season of Discovery, this
Tristana
is
couldn't
still
match
true,
me in
but
1v1
the upgrade
unless she
quest chain
had
will be
the
available
element of
right at the
surprise,
launch of
so
Phase 4, and each class is now able
That's
to
the nice
switch
part
between
about playing
multiple
mid
dungeon
versus
upgrade
bot.
set items that accommodate multiple class specializations as they move through the quest chain. While you will
Okay.
have to choose which variation of each set you want during the quest line, the other variants will be obtainable via gold and other means once the quest chain is complete, so you will have access to every set for your class
how
if you
you
want
use
to try
it.
them
That's a good way of designing it. That's smart.
all. These sets were testable on the PTR, and we've had a blast watching people get excited about both the new stats and appearances of these sets as well. But what about raid loot? Here's a quick look at a few of the items from Molten Core. First up, we've got an awesome-looking elemental shaman
Against
shield
their
called
champion?
Earth
Who
and
was that
Fire.
even against? I don't
Looks
even
similar
remember.
to the rank
I was playing
14 PvP
Tristana
shield, but with a distinct new
Alliance.
color variation. We've
Yeah.
got Magmadar's right and left claw, which
Who was I even playing
That's cool.
against? Goddamn.
Yeah, these are cool. All right.
allow you to summon core hounds to aid you in combat.
Okay.
The 3-set bonus actually allows you
Color.
to transform into Magmadar
I mean,
for
yeah,
a brief
I
period
agree.
of time. But how about Faithbringer, a 2-handed paladin weapon for healing? Or Key to the City, a caster staff from Onyxia. Finally, Obsidian Edgeblade, which has been changed from a +8 to 2-handed swords to a +3. We've added 1% crit with those stats and made it just a tad slower. Our dungeon sets won't be the only color variations
Yeah, it was 3.5 in the base game.
you'll see in Phase 4. Here are some of the cool Tier 1 color variations we've got coming soon. Next, why
Cool.
don't we spend a few minutes talking
That's
about
fine with
world
me.
events? The Blood Moon is not seeing any major adjustments for Phase 4 and will not be a vector for new items or player power, but it will continue to happen on its normal timer. We wanted to mention this because we are nearing level 60, which means that players will soon have access to the highest level PvP rewards, and many players will be ranking up to get them. In order to help with the honor gain process,
Well, you're not even able to get your rank 13 and 14 gear until AQ, right? That's what they said? It's not like you can hit 60, get Grand Marshal, and have AQ level gear. Yeah, so who gives a shit?
Introducing a new Blood Moon currency in Phase 4. When the new currency is introduced, Bloodstained Commendations will have had their cost reduced from 1 silver coin to 25 copper coins. We envisioned Blood Moon carrying on as an evergreen supplement to the normal PvP honor ranking process. If you'd like to interrupt your BG queues for a bit of quick, chaotic world PvP, my favorite, you and your group can venture into Stranglethorn Vale during the Blood Moon and supplement your honor farm. Next, we're making some significant adjustments to Nightmare Incursions, shifting the mission quests over to a simpler daily quest format. We really
Good idea.
love the overall theming of Nightmare Incursions, but I think these adjustments will help make them feel like an optional supplement to normal leveling rather than the be-all, end-all leveling activity for all new characters. As a result of
That's smart.
this format change, we are also planning to tone down the difficulty of some of the creatures within Nightmare Incursions to make these quests a bit more solo-friendly. The experience
Yeah, that's a smart idea too, because there's going to be less people doing them.
gained from these activities will cap out at level 53 as well, but the quests will remain available through level 60, should you desire to earn a reputation. Overall, we learned a lot of great lessons for Nightmare Incursions, which we plan on carrying forward for any potential future events. And speaking of future events,
yeah,
for
Jack's
Phase
got
4's
a
outdoor event, we've taken a few of the
a
lessons
meal
learned from
he's got to
previous
eat at
events
some
and are
point
applying
soon.
them to a
I'm
new,
probably going to wait
more
an hour.
lightweight
Hopefully this
outdoor event,
doesn't
the
get too
Black Rock
soggy.
Eruption. This event will occur every 2 hours and see additional spawns, daily quest content, opportunities for reputation gain, and increased honor rewards from World PvP. Outside of Blackrock Mountain, the forces of the Fire Lord are wreaking havoc. Join the Thorium Brotherhood in repelling these attacks with new daily quests to help grow your reputation with the Thorium Brotherhood and earn quicker access to powerful crafting recipes and other rewards. Inside the mountain, you'll find your blood is running extra hot, causing you to gain
I kinda do
bonus
wanna play
honor
this
only
Shyvana.
within the mountain itself. As for reputation, we are adding brand new upgraded versions of the existing crafted rewards from Thorium Brotherhood, Argent Dawn, Timbermaw Hold, and Hydraxian Waterlords. We've also got some really cool for fun items.
I'll think
that
about
allow
the
you to
Fiora
teleport
skin.
to Ajara,
I'm
lay
definitely
a
not
fire
playing
resist
Rakan,
area
though,
that
guys.
your allies can stand in, or
Duke's
Too
demand
hard of a
increasing
champion,
fire
honestly.
resistance. Oh, that's cool.
turn you into a water elemental. You'll be able to place these for fun items on your keyring, saving you some valuable bag space. Anyways, I've got some rep to farm, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass things off to our senior producer, Josh Greenfield, who'll be happy to share some of our upcoming systems updates.
Thanks,
Okay,
Laura.
here we go.
Going into Phase 4, we've made a few significant system updates we're excited to share. First up, we took a lot of the lessons we've learned from the Wild Offerings currency and have expanded on that system with a new deterministic currency we're calling Tarnished Undermined Reals.
The wild offerings were kind of annoying to farm. Like, I did it myself. I think that a lot of people did. You know, like speed killing Princess, and then you'd kill that other guy. You know, it's all right, but yeah, it really sucked with the lockouts. No, there was like an exploit, so like I guess they're probably gonna, if they watch the reaction, they're probably gonna get mad. But so you could log out, and if you logged all the way out of BattleNet and then you logged in again from the launcher, not the game, or you logged directly into the game, they fixed it. Oh, okay.
You can start earning these coins from most non-rare spawn dungeon bosses over level 55.
ABC, boys.
And each boss will drop a single currency for each player in the group once per day per boss. This currency can be used to purchase a variety of things, such as rare crafting recipes, crafting materials.
I'm gonna have maybe a hot take, but I think that a lot of this like daily focus in the game is kind of antithetical to how Classic is, in my mind, supposed to be designed. I don't really like this whole daily focus on stuff, and I think that it's weird because like the way that daily content works is that it allows it basically tries to create like this psychological repeat behavior And like, you could ask yourself the question of like, well, why are dailies bad but raid lockouts are good? And honestly, I don't really have a great answer for that. It's just that I'm more used to raid lockouts, and I feel like dailies are daily, right? I mean, it's like every day you do this. And so whenever you have something that's like a once a day reward that's very good, it makes the player feel like they have to log in to do that, which creates a FOMO. And I think that psychologically it can be kind of annoying. And I think that's the best word for it. It's not like it's really bad, it's just annoying. And it reminds me a lot of like retail WoW. And I know in Burning Crusade back in 2024, they made a promise of no farming in WoW. Well, you've always needed to farm in WoW. Like, even in 2004. But like, having it... Like, why can't somebody just... Like, what's the problem with somebody farming all of this out in one day? Why is that bad? Because here's another thing, is that there's a lot of guys that they don't have time to, like, play on the weekdays. Because they're busy, right? They're working, they have kids, they have a family, you know, they have other hobbies. So they can only play on, like, Saturday, but on Saturday they can play 5 hours a day, right? Or 8 hours a day. And so that's the time that they want to invest a lot into. So like, these daily systems can be annoying for them.
Powerful gear, as well as a variety of other valuable items. We've gotten a lot of feedback from players asking for ways to keep dungeon content relevant longer, and this is one way we're looking at keeping dungeon runs
God, we're against
rewarding
a long
at level 60.
too.
We're
It's
also
annoying.
particularly excited about
add harder dungeons.
A brand new feature to World of Warcraft Classic, a twice weekly raid lockout system. One bit of feedback we got early on was that 3-day lockouts on raids was difficult for guild leaders to manage due to the inconsistency of when reset days occur. In Sunken Temple,
I think this is a terrible idea, because what this is going to result in is people clearing the raid and then immediately doing it again. Because that's the most efficient and smartest thing to do, which I think feels really boring, and like, they need to stop. Not how it works? Okay, let me see how it works.
we moved the lockout to weekly to add a bit more stability, but we always wanted to revisit this to see if there was a way for us to provide the increased cadence and content availability that the 3-day lockout provided, but with a bit more stability and predictability to help with better raid planning. The twice weekly lockout accomplishes this by having raids using this lockout interval reset twice a week on static reset days. For example, in North America, twice weekly raids will reset.
Okay, sorry, I spoke too soon.
Damn, I fucked up.
Tuesday and Saturday mornings. We plan to use this lockout interval for all of the raids in Phase 4. We feel that with the pace of Season of Discovery, this is a great step forward to allow you to raid more if you choose to. At this point, we're approaching...
I'm kind of torn on this. Why? The reason why is because I think that when you make something available, you indirectly make it required. Because if you're a guild now, or you're a player and you're trying to keep up with the curve, now you have to raid twice a week, whereas before you had to raid once a week. I think that Classic WoW is popular because it caters to people that are more casual, and I think this is a more hardcore adjustment. Now, I'm not currently playing Season of Discovery, okay? So maybe my opinion doesn't matter as much, but that is what my opinion is. That's what I think.
The home stretch, but we do have a few more updates to share before we close things out. With Phase 4 and the increase to level 60, players will begin having access to max level world buff effects. In Season of Discovery, we're also planning to add an alliance equivalent to Warchief's Blessing, the Might of Stormwind. As fun as it was to skulk around the crossroads on our alliance character,
this is a good decision.
Hoping for a kindly priest to mind control us for a chance at Warchief's Blessing, this should make getting your world buffs a bit less cumbersome for Alliance players. As with previous phases, Discoverer's Delight will continue to function from 50 to 59, providing a 50% experience boost in that level range. We've learned a lot of great lessons about leveling, and while we want you to level a little bit faster, there's a lot of content in the 50 to 60 range, and we don't want to totally trivialize the journey in Phase 4. So having a more nominal buff from 50 to 59 makes sense.
I've got a lot to say about this.
Characters from 1 through 49 will still enjoy 150% experience increase as well, so it should be super easy to get those alts caught up. Like previous level up raids, Sunken Temple will give a generous amount of XP, so running that while you're leveling could give you a
That's good.
In Phase 4, we plan to allow blacksmiths and leatherworkers to swap their profession specs for a nominal cost. This will not quite be ready for the launch of Phase 4, but we do plan to introduce it a short time later. Perhaps most excitingly, we've done major overhauls to many iconic in-game crafting recipes, with dozens of recipes replaced or given a method to upgrade into even better.
This is a good thing to do, because a lot of the different things that you can make in the game are bad. And nobody ever uses them. So it's like, why have a recipe in the game if nobody's going to use it?
Versions of their original crafted items. First up, we've got the refined Hammer of the Titans.
Damn,
A
you got all of them.
piece with 2.0 speed that has
it's
a
for
very hefty
furries.
amount of feral attack.
Who cares?
It also
Nobody gives a
retains
shit.
its classic 3-second stun proc, which will now proc into
No one cares.
And who
Literally
could
nobody
forget
cares.
the iconic Arcanite Reaper, newly upgraded and refined into a 4. Speed powerhouse with improved stats and a very fancy new classicified glow. These are just 2 examples out of many iconic crafting recipes to receive major glow ups.
Wow.
So get out there and get crafting. Looking at the raid
Holy
release
shit.
schedule, in a departure from previous phases, we've decided to space out the unlock of raid content following launch. Azergos and Kazakh will go live 1 week after launch, with Molten Core and
This is a good decision. I think that they should space out the raids as well. That way people will actually do the dungeons and not try to speedrun the raids and ruin their experience.
Nixia the week after that.
It's a good decision.
Phase 4 is going to have a ton of compelling things to do right at 60, with a lot of new and improved loot to chase.
There's tons of stuff to do.
This pre-raid gearing phase is one of the best parts about hitting level 60.
I completely agree with him, and this is probably the only thing in this entire video that I 100% agree with. Everything else I think is like, okay, no, not so much. This I am totally on board with.
On a fresh character, and giving that pre-raid best-in-slot process a bit of time to breathe and giving you some worthwhile goals to accomplish ahead of the raids becoming available is very exciting. Should provide you with a lot of great, satisfying gear progression leading up to those raids becoming available. With that, we are done with today's presentation. We appreciate your patience as we're working diligently to get Phase 4 into your hands. We really appreciate all of the participation in our recent PTR releases, and we continue to consume your feedback as we're finishing things up for Phase 4. As always, the WoW Classic development team is incredibly grateful for your support. Thank you for playing with us, and thank you for your feedback and participating and helping us develop this season. We'll see you again when Season of Discovery Phase 4 goes live on July 11th, 2024. Thank you and goodbye.
I really like the classic WoW team. I do. I really like everybody on the team.
Agree.
I think that they do a great job communicating with the player base. I think especially Agrin has no problem getting down in the trenches and talking with people on Twitter. But I think they're making a number of mistakes with what they're doing. I think the first mistake that they're making is by, and this is probably going to be my most subjective and my most contentious opinion. I don't like the fact that they're making raids into 20 players. I think 40-player spectacle raids are way cooler. And I think that designing the raid for 20 players, this is my opinion. I think the Classic WoW raids were always designed for 20 players, especially Molten Core. That raid is a joke. It's so fucking easy. Like, people could do that with 20 people in Phase 1 of Classic. So, getting 40 people together is a bitch, though. It is. But I find that to be, like, the social, like, challenge of that, I find to be more of Classic WoW. And this is very, very subjective, by the way. This is what I think. I think that that makes it an event and a spectacle, and that matters to me more than even being able to get into the raid. And I know that might sound weird, but that's the way that I feel. And so let's go through, and I'm going to talk about each individual thing, right? So the classic dungeons being available, I think is great. I think it's really cool that they're thinking about adding in another dungeon. That's awesome. I really, really like that. Now, let's talk about the first thing that's the most problematic, in my opinion. It's the scalable difficulty system. I really don't like the scalable difficulty system, and I think that it's totally antithetical to Classic WoW. I do. I think that it's completely antithetical. And I'll talk about why. Classic WoW has always been a game that, like, so this is one perspective that I have, like, with Dark Souls, and I think Dark Souls is an interesting parallel to this, because in Dark Souls, if you kill Artorias in Dark Souls 1, that means one thing. If you kill Manus, or, I don't know, Slave Knight Gale, that means one thing. And I think that having everything in Classic WoW be like one defined objective measure of difficulty makes the game feel more immersive. Changing difficulty modes in games feels kind of cheesy to me, and it reminds you that you're playing a video game. And I understand that, like, this is a very abstract idea, but I don't like the idea of difficulty modes in games because it makes it feel to me, whenever I'm doing the lower difficulty mode, that my accomplishment doesn't really matter. But whenever there's only one difficulty for it, then I can optimize my efficiency of completing that difficulty. And I think that speedruns can create that same outcome. So it doesn't matter. Isn't this similar to Old War? No, I don't think it is. I think that it's just a scaling difficulty system, whereas Old War added new mechanics. So it doesn't matter anyway? Yeah, sure. You've always been about the rewards. Interesting take. I know that. I am more about the rewards, but to me, what I really care about the most is that the game delivering the experience that we all thought we had in 2019, and really in 2004, 5, or for me, 2006. That's the real goal that I think I have. Like, I want the game to create that same feeling. How can you do that? I think that being able to have a difficulty system makes people that aren't doing the highest difficulty feel like they're wasting their time. And I don't think that having challenging raid content is something that Classic WoW really needs to engage with. And I think if they do want to add challenging raid content, I don't think that there should be any vector of rewards to it at all. None. Maybe a tabard, maybe a title, but even that I think is too much. Personally, I do. I think it's too much. I don't think it's necessary, because Classic WoW created an entire meta of speedrunning, and that came out of nowhere. That you didn't need to tell people oh, you need to clear an axe in under an hour, and if you do that, you'll get Atiyesh from the boss. No, it just happened on its own. And I think that this is the case with a lot of games, and it's the case with Dark Souls. I'll go back to Dark Souls again. Dark Souls, you already have, like, Moon was doing this on day one, right? But a lot of people were doing this way after that, is that they were doing these challenge runs. Like, they're killing Radon. This is actually just one. Let me see if there's any more people that are doing anything unique or different. It seems like most people here are pretty much just doing normal runs. Oh, maybe Geno Machine will probably be doing something different and unique. If not now, it will be soon. So you're going to have people doing challenge runs of, what do you call it? Of these different raids, right? And they don't, Distortion usually does. Yeah, usually those guys are on at night, to be honest. I remember looking last night and I saw it a lot, but it wasn't really that much case. 100% correct. Mythic demoralized my entire raid group. Why work your ass off for shit gear doing heroic mode? Exactly, yeah. And, like, people don't want to do mediocre content for mediocre gear. So whenever you create a frame of reference that says the gear and the content that you're doing is easy and a joke, it makes the people that can't do the higher level content feel like they're wasting their time because they're not being efficient with what they're doing. It's a psychological effect. And that's why I don't like raid difficulties. I think that all raids should be one difficulty. I think that it's okay for, like, a couple of, like, really hard bosses to have an optional hard mode or something like that. I'd be okay with that. But a scalable difficulty system as a baseline, I don't like it. I don't find it to be fun, and I think it's antithetical to how Classic is supposed to be, based off of my opinion. So I'm very much not a fan of the new of this, because also every raiding guild will try to do the highest difficulty, because it will give them the most loot and they will gear up faster. Everybody will do that. You always talk about an extra wing in a raid that was hard to some for? Yeah. But that's like separate content. I think that if you have hard content in the game, like, for example, the gear from Naxxramas is better, in general, than the gear from AQ40. That's good, because you're doing a harder, higher level raid. In the same way as in Dark Souls, the souls that you get and the rewards that you get, generally, from the later bosses are better than the rewards you get from the earlier bosses. That's the way it works. So that's how I see it. This is not Classic, it's SOD. I know that, but Classic WoW is, or sorry, Season of Discovery is supposed to emulate Classic more than it does with retail. And what I'm saying is that I think this goes away too much from where I think it should be. I think that this is too much. It's a bridge too far, in my opinion. Difficulty should be determined by the different raids, not a toggle of the same raid. Exactly, yeah. And so that's the way that I feel about it. Onyxia's Lair, I don't really have any big opinions on this. New and overhauled loot, etc. This is fine. Now, world bosses. World bosses being instanced, I understand why they want to do it. I get why they want to do it. And by the way, for all of these changes that Blizzard is making, I think that they should do every single one of them and try it out. Because that's what Season of Discovery is. It's the same thing I said with GDKP. I disagreed with the ban on GDKP, but I agreed with them taking the chances on it, if that makes sense. I completely agree with the difficulty options. Emergent player behavior is parse runs, speed runs. Yeah, exactly. Raid difficulty is a new form of meta progression. If you tackled easy mode, then you can do the highest difficulty. You just do that. You pass the entry level, that's all. Well, I just don't like raid difficulty in general. But anyway, going back to this, I think that having a world boss that's just out there, and you just see it, and people can go over there and kill it, that's awesome. That to me is super, super cool. But what if you want hard content and the raids are too easy? Then you should play Retail WoW. Go play Retail WoW. It's way harder. Or do speedruns. I don't want to see the game be designed around people like that. Because people that want to make the game harder have infinitely many options to do that, including playing the other version of the game that's infinitely fucking harder. Go play Cataclysm. Go play Retail. Stop trying to turn Classic WoW into some sort of vehicle for you to increase your ego. Why can't this just be a fun game? What is this? Just try to, like, it's not a big deal. Play with green gear. Yeah, what is this? But it's not your decision. Well, of course it's not my decision. It's not anybody's decision here. That's why I'm giving my feedback on what the decision is, and maybe they'll listen and change their decision. And if they don't, then it is what it is. But this is the way that I'm thinking about it. This is what I think. I don't think they should make the game for sweaties. I think Classic WoW was successful in 2005 because it wasn't. Classic WoW was baby's first MMO. Everybody else in the MMO scene, like, you know, Ultima Online, EverQuest, all thought that, like, WoW was, like, the easy mode MMO. And it was. And that's why it was so good. And that's why Elden Ring was so good. And Dark Souls. It's because people like to, you know, fucking reminisce on the old days about, oh, it used to be really hard. No, it wasn't. Get the fuck out of here. It was not hard. Like, Dark Souls 1's not a hard game. Like, Classic WoW's not a hard game, but it was fun, and it made you feel like you accomplished something. And I think that that feeling of accomplishment is why people want it to be, they want to remember it as being hard. It's because they felt like they beat something hard. They felt like they did something that was an accomplishment. And you don't make a person feel like that just by turning up the numbers.
Thank God,
you do it
finally.
by creating a holistic experience that a person can overcome incrementally that feels good to do. And I don't think that this does that. I don't. So you want the skill ceiling lowered?
Love this Shaco,
yes,
bro.
Absolutely. I don't want this game to be super hard. Yes. Why is it that it's a video game. It's supposed to be for fun. So if the game isn't making people feel good, then what's the point of it?
That's terrible.
And by the way, I think Elden Ring fits this. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not thinking about difficulty. Difficulty is not the idea. That's not the goal. The goal is enjoyment and fulfillment. Difficulty is a measure that you use to achieve that, but difficulty is not the end result. Fulfillment and fun is the end result.
Nah,
so it's not about I don't care. Like, who cares how fast? Oh, you beat a mythic raid. Who cares? It's a fucking video game. It's a fucking video. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with yourself? What's wrong with you? What are you doing? Stop it. Just try to make it fun. And so anyway, Mulaney isn't fun. No, yeah, I think it's a gimmick boss, based on all counts. Yes. And so anyway, I think that again, instanced world bosses. Classic WoW is an incredible game, and I'm talking about vanilla WoW. And classic, like 2019, WoW, not SOD, is a great game because of interdependencies that are created by weaknesses. Season of Discovery tries to have its cake and eat it too, by hoping to still capitalize on the nostalgia of interdependencies while also taking them away so people have the ease of access. The reason why people made friends in Classic WoW is because they had to. If you want to kill Hogger, you've basically got to play with somebody else. It's really hard to kill him on his own. So when you go and you look and you think about why is it that you needed a group to do like the 5-man areas in Red Ridge Mountains, it's because they were really hard. But whenever you give classes, the reason why class fantasy is so strong in Classic WoW is because a lot of classes are really bad at stuff. I'll give you some examples. Warriors have terrible mobility. Mages can't heal. Rogues can't heal, but they have stealth. So everybody has this really big advantage, but that advantage is counterbalanced by a disadvantage. And this is true for all classes except Warlocks that are just broken, and they're just amazing at everything. But besides Warlocks, every class has something that they're good at, and they also have something that they're bad at. And that interdependency that's created is what makes people have that class envy of, oh, well, I want to try out a mage. Wow, this mage can AoE down 20 mobs? What the fuck? I can barely even kill 1 or 2. But what you don't see is that mage having to drink for 2 minutes in between every single one of those pulls and all of the fuck-up pulls that they had. And so that creates that interdependency. Warlocks are bad at making friends? Yeah, true. Yeah, Warlocks are rock, Rogues are scissors. Yes, a mage is paper, and Warlocks are mushrooms. Yes, I remember it very well. I know. And it sounds boring. It doesn't. It's not boring, though. That's the thing, is that you get a greater fulfillment when you... So, like, each class is, let's say, operating at 100% efficiency, right? So you're a warrior, and, you know, you're operating at 100% efficiency. I meet McConnell. McConnell's a paladin, operating at 100% efficiency. We get together, now we're at 300%. And you have this force multiplier, where now you feel like, okay, we're cooking. Like, he's going to give me buffs. I'm going to tank the mobs. I'm going to get the rage. He's going to get heals that won't get interrupted. I'm not going to have to sit down and drink. I can fight a mob while he's drinking. Then he can heal me after that. We never stop going big dick, right? That's it. That's what it's about. And like, have you guys ever had that experience in, like, retail? Or, sorry, in like, old Classic? Where you get grouped up with somebody or, like, 2 other people, and you're just cooking. Like, things are going so well. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. It's so good, right? And that's what it's all about, man. And that doesn't exist whenever every class has every interdependency filled in. That's the problem. And I said this whenever Season of Discovery was coming out. Nobody wanted to listen, but I was fucking right, and I think it happened. And so I think that, again, world bosses are the same thing. The mystique and allure of world bosses and world boss coalitions and getting together in a group with a guild and the idea that some guilds can kill and contest these world bosses is really cool. And if you just give them to everybody, that emergent player behavior and feeling is destroyed. It no longer exists. And for a long time, and this is the thing, right, is that I've gone through different phases with, like, what is the best way to design a game? Is it best to design it for hard play, or for hard content for good players? Is it best to design it for like easy players or bad players? I think that, like, at this point, I've thought about this a lot. I think about this all the time. I don't think that you should design for a skill level. You should design for an experience. And that experience should make you want to inherently make yourself better at the game. And I think that what's happened is that too much are games being designed for, like, a type of player rather than a type of experience. So
Alright, so the plan right now is more League of Legends.
This is exactly why League of Legends being so good. Team play is required at the best level of play. Yeah, exactly. I like too much optimization. Yes, exactly. And so, like, that type of experience really matters a lot. And I think what ends up happening is that experience is watered down and made weaker when you add options. Like, basically, you can't have the feeling of success without someone else having the feeling of failure. The reason why you walked into your Stormwind or your Orgrimmar for the first time and you saw the guy on, you know, the Scarab Lord mount or, you know, the rank 10 mount, and they had full tier 3 and Thunder Fury, and you thought to yourself, holy fuck, I want to play, I want to spend the rest of my life doing this. The reason why you did that is because nobody else had that gear. You can't give everyone everything. Because if you do that, then nobody's special. And I don't feel any envy towards others. I did.
Yeah, we are just chilling,
really cool
hanging out, listening to
in the game.
Some Asmongold analysis.
Awesome. And I think that for us, right, it doesn't feel the same as it used to, because a lot of us felt that way in 2004, 2007, or something like that. And that was fucking 15, 20 years ago. And now you're an adult.
All right.
So League added a $500 skin.
Look, I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the $200 skins? So, yesterday...
Imagine, bro, $200
I'll be right back, guys.
I made the video
Gonna go
about
to the
that,
restroom.
and he was like, wow, that's so bad. Now it's more than twice as much.
Riot finally revealed what is happening with Faker's skins. It all started with Faker's mini-documentary getting a teaser.
Yep.
Then we got a semi-cinematic trailer for the skins connected to this. Then we got a reveal of those skins. And then... Then we learned about the pricing.
There it is.
And after testing out just how many players would be buying the $200 skins, Riot decided to step up their game and test out just how many players are able to take a loan to get a skin.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's have a look at what is actually happening here. Of course, all of this is tied to something new called the Hall of Legends, a website that is currently giving honor to Faker, perhaps the best League of Legends player, who is also just widely considered the best gamer in the world in general. It is truly incredible to see what Faker was able to accomplish. So some kind of giving honor makes sense here.
It is.
I mean, if you just scroll through the website, you will see some quick recaps of what
I would say he probably is the most well-known gamer in terms of like being a successful like competitive gamer. I can't think of anybody else who's more well-known than he is. Shroud?
Shit,
Shroud's
30.
not competitive. Shroud was competitive. I'm talking about now. Ninja's not competitive. Like, obviously, like, of all time, it's hard to compare, like, esports from 15 years ago versus now.
Did. After which, the website immediately dives into the Halls of Legends event. That's right, this is not just about giving honors to the players.
Yeah.
It is also about the players giving up their money. However, as much as we may be joking here, the first microtransaction that's revealed here is pretty good, at least compared to other league standards. Because remember, all in-game purchases are subjective, because Riot are...
All in-game purchases are a waste of money. They're all a waste of money. Now, you can choose to waste your money,
the opposite way said.
You can do that. There's nobody stopping you. But it is a waste of money.
One setting up the prices. So first we got the Hall of Legends event pass. That's right, we got a whole new battle pass with this, which is still priced within League's reasonable window. Although it is still about $5 more expensive than all the other passes.
Right.
So for about $20, expect 100 levels of unlockable rewards. And here, I really want you to remember that this has 100 rewards.
Okay. That's a lot.
Just keep that 100 in your head.
Okay.
And here you honestly get quite the bang of rewards. The main prize here is going to be the Risen Legend LeBlanc. which is your standard epic quality skin. Together with this, you will also get all the SKT D1 skins for all the champions that Faker played, 125 Mythic Essence, which is pretty good, that is about 1/2 of one of the most prestigious skins, and a lot of Faker-themed items. There are 14 new icons and emotes, the Broccoli Baron title, which is an obvious joke about Faker and the broccoli, the Hide on Bush Ward, which I believe is a reference to Faker waiting in bushes with his Rise, the Unkillable Demon King banner, which is another reference to his nickname, and 6 loot orbs, each of which should have at least one skin inside.
Okay.
So as you can see, for about $20, that is a lot.
That's not awful, right? I mean, in terms of the world of microtransactions, this seems to be better than the average.
Would actually say that is a pretty good purchase if you play League of Legends a lot.
Sure.
Because remember, it is still a battle pass. You have to play the game to get all of these. You don't just get them, even though that's what you paid for.
Right.
But alas, such is the fate of battle passes. So far so good, right? Wrong.
Oh.
Let's have a look at the second microtransaction.
And more.
Here, you can buy a standalone skin. A skin that has some legendary quality features, but it is not a full rework of the animations.
Yeah.
Still, this one will cost you $50. Which in reality is a whole bundle. You can't actually buy this skin as a standalone item. Now this bundle will also give you the Hall of Legends Battle Pass, which means that technically the skin is only $30. But it is a marketing trick. They still made you buy things in bulk. So
yeah, I think that's always annoying.
In reality, the price stays at 50.
It's $50.
And what makes this one special is not
just...
just...
if the only way to get something is that object itself, then it's $50. Then it's however much the way to get it is.
Eat my dick.
Faker's name attached to it.
He's probably right, though.
Some unique features. The skin has a special taunt that actually gives you a number of all your takedowns. And that's kinda it. You also have your special border and an icon and an emote. But those are kinda standard these days. And no, I don't count getting the actual champion as a bonus.
Okay.
So on top of the quality of a normal epic skin, you are just paying extra $10 for an emote that shows you your takedowns. Which is not the best, but it is still not that bad. No, if we want to go bad, we need to turn a microtransaction into a macro transaction. And we do that by raising the price 6 times. That's right, as the gaming company trend goes these days, this skin has multiple tiers for purchase. I mean, where did Riot get this idea? Ubisoft? And yes, we are
Ubisoft. I mean, like, let's just be real. This is the price of a PlayStation 5. Now, you can be an idiot, but, like, and I'm an idiot. Like, I've spent a lot of money on video games. I bought the Path of Exile $480 supporter edition. But to be fair, I got a hoodie with that, okay? So, like, am I really stupid? Because I got a hoodie is over there. But, like, really, that's a lot of money too. You'd be an idiot, but this is crazy. It's a ridiculous price. It's a crazy, outrageous. Like, I can't believe that we're in a world where this is normalized, right? Like, this is just the way things are now. This is crazy.
Jumping up from the price of $50 all the way to 32,000 RP, or in other words, about $300.
Jesus.
That is already more than
That's
the
not the whole thing.
$200 skin. And this one is not even part of a gacha system,
Yeah.
so you have to buy it for that high price directly. It's supposed to be better. I'm not sure if it is. Well, as it tends to be,
$300
price. People usually look at what they can get for the price to see if it is justified.
Goddamn.
So, let's have a look at what we get. So, for the extra $250,
Do I just wait? I think I just wait at that
I'm
point.
just gonna speed run this. It's not justified. This is outrageous. This is an outrageous ask. It is crazy.
Yeah, no,
How is
it
even a
really
question?
is.
An upgraded version of the skin. This skin has an extra feature. It evolves. Based on the video, you get credit for destroying structures or killing opponents, and after getting enough points, the skin evolves. Which pretty much just turns her dress black and it turns her tails into a bunch of foxes. Admittedly, it looks pretty good. And there is also a third evolution, which essentially
Sorry,
turns
guys,
the
got
skin
distracted.
into a prestige version, but that's only up during her ultimate. So when the ultimate goes off, she transforms back. Although while it's up, apparently she also gets unique HUD elements on screen. Now, if you look directly...
An enemy has been slain.
You're gonna do it? All right, go ahead, get do it.
Directly at all the things listed here in this bundle. You have the unique transformations, which we just mentioned, but here we learned that each transformation also has unique voice lines. But apparently, the skins also get a custom visual announcer, which I assume is not a new voice for the announcer. It should really be just a new voice.
That's good.
First blood. Then, this skin also has a unique animation for destroying towers and killing enemies.
Oh, buddy.
It is this fox slamming down, which looks like a finisher from Valorant. And all things considered, this should be an entirely new thing. As far as I am aware,
don't love Riven getting a kill on Nasus, but not end of the world.
They exist in every other Riot game. So from a marketing perspective, I
CS
have
is
to
going well,
advise
though.
you. Don't get baited into buying an expensive skin because it has some features which other skins don't.
Lord.
Eventually, after this feature gets tested, it is extremely likely we will see other finishers in the game.
He's very right about this. This is probably the best point that he's brought up. That yes, if this is received well and people like the idea of this, then yes, this is going to become normalized. It will only be $300.
Maybe it will be turned into a separate cosmetic. That's what would make sense. Once the Pandora's box gets opened, it will be everywhere. And it happens in literally every live service game ever. So don't buy it just for the finisher. Anyway, next, it also gets mentioned that you get everything from the previous bundle.
Obviously.
So, pretty much just the border icon and emote, and also the battle pass. There is also a holographic immortalized splash art, which sounds way too cool for an animated splash
Doing
art.
pretty good so far,
Champion
boys.
Select. So you will see it exactly for like 60 seconds. There is also a dynamic profile background, which I assume is the exact same animation.
How does this happen? How does this happen? How does this happen? I don't understand how this happens.
Which you can see on screen right now, except you will see it on your profile.
Yeah.
An immortalized border, so a cooler version of the previous border.
What?
New icon and emote. So a cooler version of the previous icon and emote. So really, you don't get much from the previous pack. And that should be what justifies the $250. It means you...
I thought it was 300. This is the extra stuff.
Are paying for the transformation
$250
more.
Honestly, yeah.
You are raising it from an epic skin to a legendary skin for $250.
Right.
But
Loving the Zyra jungle who does so much that our entire life becomes easy, perfect. I know.
Of course.
Let's rip the band-aid off. So, for over double the price, or 59,260 RP, or in other words, almost $520.
There it is.
You don't hurt him if you don't hit him.
There it is. That's value? Yep. $520 skin.
An ally has
Man.
been slain.
I love video games. Aren't video games great? I wonder who decided that it would be this much. Like, because, you know, obviously they're going to have pricing conversations about the game. And I wonder, like, who was the guy that was like, well, let's do it at 490. And then this guy gets overruled by the guy who says, all right, well, how about 550? And, like, you know, they negotiate and they come down to $520. Yeah, Mr. Krabs, is that it? I just don't get it, man. This is like the Apex collection events? I guess so. This is nuts. They know that there are rich people out there that will buy it. I think that a lot of people will buy it. I absolutely think so.
I ulted a dog! I ulted a dog!
Explain any of this to somebody over 50.
The new features better get mind-blowing. And you know what? They will blow
They are mind-blowing. It's ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
I'm just not sure it's gonna be in a good way.
Yeah.
So, on top of the skin evolving for another $250,
Jesus.
which overall is more than the minimum wage of many countries around the world, the skin gets a new Faker's signature move.
What
which
is it?
shows Faker above Ari. Yeah. Also, you have...
That's it?
I just need a point in the right direction.
Man. Wow.
Enemy rampage.
Faker's structure finisher, which gives you a bit of red smoke around the tower when you destroy it, and a signature pops up. Next, you also have the final boss Faker title, which, first of all, that is a weird title.
It is a
Would
weird
I
title.
be the final boss Faker Necrit? Doesn't really have the ring to it. But
Yeah.
also, I am pretty sure people will get bullied if they are caught with this title, just like they have with the $200 Jin skin. Then, of course,
That's good. Finally, people are getting bullied for spending a ridiculous amount of money on something like this that is so silly. This is, yes, I've been waiting on this for a long time.
there is yet another border with yet more icons and emotes. So again, the previous ones lose their value. There is also a new signature splash art, which is exactly the same as the previous one, except this one is signed. Just to remind you, that is a digital signature on your screen for $500. Then it mentions you also get everything from the previous bundles, which is pretty much the transformation feature of the skin and the battle pass. You also get a special chroma recolor of the LeBlanc skin and a special recolor for all the T1 skins of the champions that Faker played. But lastly, and most importantly, you also get 100 pass levels. Now
So you insta-complete it?
Question. Do you remember the thing I told you to remember?
Yeah.
That's right.
100
Why
levels of
play
content.
a game that gives you rewards, which you paid for, when you can pay $500
to get the
and
rewards?
just skip everything and get all the rewards at once? What's crazy about
My understanding is that, especially in places like China, they have like such a huge culture of flexing on people and like showing off
really
that
think
they
he's
have
cheating. I
money.
don't think there's a way
I
for him
bet
to cheat
tons
that,
of people
but-
are gonna buy this. I do. I bet they're gonna buy this like crazy. It's called face culture. Yeah, I'm not sure all the details, but yeah, we don't. Well, I feel like it's kind of like a newer thing there, so like, you know, it's taking time for that to catch on. I do it in America. Yeah, but like they also do this. You know, iPhone culture. Yeah, this is. Yeah, bro. Imagine. I wonder how popular this is going to be in a place like China. It's really sad because Faker wanted an Ahiri skin from winning Worlds, but he got relegated to this cash grab instead of his last World Championship win. Well, I don't know. Is this the league stuff? Yeah, it is. Why do people even play video games? The people who do this don't even really care about being a gamer. They just want to spend money. Because people want to look like they can spend money. Like, there's everybody all over the place is trying to show off that they have a lot of money. How are we surprised about this? I mean, come on.
This is that, yes, this is literally just you buying a digital signature and
it's ridiculous.
100 level boosts. That is it. That is honestly wild. Like, look, if Faker doesn't personally come to my room and sign the tower I just destroyed, I'm not sure if it's worth it. In fact,
so it puts a sign. Oh my god.
Boom, boom.
This is so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. It's just everything about it's so crazy. It's not about showing off. I have a bunny who pays for almost every skin.
No, I almost always agree with Asmund, and I also have
looks good, his words. So if you suck at the game, you can buy a good skin.
A chip on my shoulder about this sort of shit, but the more he talks about it, the more I feel like it does disgrace Faker not to honor what he's done for the league. So I get it, but at the same time, I do understand why it is as big of a deal as it is, because Faker brought esports to the map, honestly. Single-handedly brought it everywhere. The S League laid the foundation for it, but it did not give him his talent, his skill, or what he's done for it.
Rampage.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck the fact that Faker does not get 90% proceeds. He should get 90%. Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, I do think that they took advantage of Faker, if anything.
Wow.
Otherwise, I do think that the skin is worth value
it
if
is what
it's
it
being
is, right?
given to Faker.
Because
Faker's meant a lot to a lot of people.
Well, let me tell you, it's
And so is League of Legends. I'm not taking away from that, but I feel like they make profit as a business, not as an individual, whereas Faker is an individual that individually contributed to the extent he did. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, they do. I have the receipts. Those people are real.
60k isn't that bad. Try getting 1600 plus skins as a 0.1% league whale. This is good news for me. That's pretty cheap. I can't wait to get closer to 1700 skins. What's the average price of a skin?
$10.
$10. Okay, let's say it's 10 to 20. Let's say $14. So at least, like, at the very minimum, right? It's gonna be about $20,000. Man, it's just like what I said, man. Free-to-play games, those are the most expensive ones.
They scare me, dude. Now, throughout all of this, I have to let my opinion out. And the truth is, I don't really care what Riot is selling. It's a skin, and fortunately, a skin can't ruin gameplay. Of course, there are exceptions. So, because this skin got released, arguably
that is
not.
all.
So I'm not mad at Riot or anything like that. I just think they've gone mad. Because I
don't.
Sorry,
I think that if
one.
you're stupid enough to buy a $500 skin,
Slightly more
Riot
level-headed.
has a moral
Right,
obligation
Serena?
to do it. Because
I said
if
right.
you're that stupid, the best thing
I'm
for
more level-headed
everybody
than Tyler
will
1.
be getting that money out of your hands as
Tyler
soon as
1.
possible. Like before
Just say
you do
correct.
something
I
even
promise.
dumber. Like, Riot
Thank you.
is doing
See,
you a
she
favor.
agrees
They're
with me.
doing the world a favor by getting that $500 out of your pocket as fast as they possibly fucking can. It's a public service. It is. This is a public service. And so, no. Like, they'll do it again. Yes, if you spend money on this, you deserve it. That's it. Losers lose. If you like shit, you'll be served shit regularly. That's right. Do you still think WoW would benefit from being free to play considering shit like this? I think they should have a longer extended trial, yeah. But like, oh wow, WoW is worse. You can literally buy gold in WoW. Like, WoW is worse than this is. Why stop at $500? Why not 50K? I mean, I think that's a great question. Yeah, that is a great question. Why not charge $500? Sorry, $50,000. Yeah. I completely agree.
I mean, it's what Faker deserves, but
no idea who could even greenlight this.
We associate
Also,
money too much with emotion,
I am mad.
I think.
The drama is not over. You'll see some pretty awful things coming in
Thank
just
God.
a second.
Okay,
anyway,
here we go.
This is supposed to be a celebration of Faker. Instead, it is a celebration of the people who can afford to celebrate Faker. And honestly, I don't think that's gonna be many.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It definitely probably feels bad for fans that this is the case. It's a pretty good point.
I think a lot of people will buy the base $50 version.
It's only
That's
$50,
gonna be way
guys.
more people than you probably think. A slightly smaller chunk
I'd
of all
have
of those
more time
people
to
will
Flash
actually
W.
go for the $250.
Flash came
I
up
just
while
heard
I was
this,
blinded,
somebody
but
says in some poorer
not
countries
good
like
enough.
Argentina,
Like I know
you can
on
literally
2
buy
and
Riot
7.
points as installments.
Yeah. Brutal.
Good.
An ally has been slain.
Don't worry, Zyra's
Good.
got it,
I
guys.
wonder at what point when you're buying video game items
Just kidding.
on installments, do you think to yourself, am I fucking up right now?
Yes, because
Wait,
I really
am I
trust
being a
Caitlyn.
fucking idiot? Oh.
It sounds ridiculous, but I actually believe that. But hopefully, not too many people get baited into the $500 bundle.
I think that, like, this is the future of gaming, guys. The future of gaming is like real life, where the people that have a lot of money beat you before the game even starts, and you're just happy to be alive. You're lucky to even be alive.
Thank you.
They've infested gaming. It's pay to win. Second
Yeah, we're dealing
mortgage
with a
for
little
game
bit of ping
skins.
real quick.
This is mega bait. It is, but that's what happens.
Ad one is a joke. And what's the dumbest part about all of this?
Yes.
I don't think I shut it off.
I don't think Faker even gets a cut from this.
He does.
Like,
He gets 30%.
If
That's
Faker
what it
gets
said.
90% of all the profits.
Yeah.
A lot more
30%.
people would feel better about
30%
their
does feel
illusion that
very
they are
fair.
actually
Yeah.
supporting an individual. But it's more likely that
His
Riot
team?
will
Oh,
get most
I didn't
of
know
the
that.
profits.
It's not him,
And
it's his
many
team? Okay.
people will feel like Riot is just leeching off of Faker, which, in this case, that's exactly what they might be doing. So, apparently, that is indeed what's happening. Because on the website, they confirm that
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's a team that gets... Okay, got it.
30% of the profits.
Do you think at some point the scales will tip too far against pay-to-win game companies, that we get new, quality, interesting game developers again? No, I don't think so. I think that you're always going to have games like Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate, and, you know, like another Crab's Treasure, Blasphemous, like games that are not pay-to-win, that have nothing like that at all, and it's completely aside from the point. But you'll also have games that are more pay to win.
GG
and
easy.
The truth is that most people are conditioned to be okay with pay to win.
I think it's time
the
for us
majority
to
of the
move over
world
to
is
sim
okay
games.
with pay to win.
For sure.
Like,
So,
and this,
what sim game do you want? I can put a poll up in chat if out. Looking at Planet Base, or we have several options really.
Your inhibitor
But
has
probably
been
Planet Base or
Your turret has been destroyed.
Supermarket Simulator. We've got Airport Sim. Airport Sim kind of sounds fun.
this is outside of gaming. Like, obviously, whenever you're talking about gaming, it sounds bad. But, like, I'm talking about, like, the average people. Because, like, think about how many things in life are pay to win. You go to a concert, there's VIP tickets. You go to a restaurant and, you know, like, if it's an expensive restaurant, you know, you can't eat there if you don't have the money. Like, everything in life is pay to win in some way or another. Like, video games are like one of those things that aren't pay to win. That's why it's like, yeah, reject modernity. Yeah, but it still is. Stadium seats. Yeah, healthcare is pay to win. Well, it's pay to live. But yeah, basically, pay to win becomes a status symbol. It is. Like, for example, people that have expensive cars. Like, that is a scam. Like, you understand, like, you know, somebody has a Lamborghini. You have a Honda Civic. This isn't a functional advantage. They're going 30 miles an hour. You're going 30 miles an hour, because if they go 200, they go to jail. They have no advantage because of a Lamborghini. They can't even do that. They have to follow the
What's
speed
weird
limit.
is
They
these
still have
are
to
the
follow
Fed
speed limit.
ones.
It's just
and
same as
these are
everybody
not
else.
Fed. Oh, never mind.
So it's the flex. It's a skin. It's not even a pay to win. It's just a fucking skin. And they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. And also keep in mind that, like, so let's look at voting. You vote, you have one vote. A guy that has $1 million votes, he has one vote.
Technically.
But think about this.
We live in. I am
play
a
a
firm
game,
believer that
you
we do
vote,
live in an
you're not going to
oligarchy.
spend money. He plays the game. He votes. He's going to spend $500. Well, he just had 500 votes. You just got outvoted. Whales make up such a big portion of gaming revenue. It is insane. It's the same thing as everything. Like, look at the amount of, like, wealth disparity. Like, oh, the 1%, like, I could do a Bernie Sanders. Oh, 1% of people have 81% of all the wealth in America. And he's right. He's fucking right.
Yeah, he is.
But people just
Fucking
don't
love
give a
Bernie.
shit. They're used to it. Exactly, they're supporting the game with money. The whales need us, but the truth is that every minnow is only a temporarily embarrassed whale. And they believe that one day, if they work hard enough and they keep clocking in at McDonald's, that one day they can buy the legendary skin. There's an entire ecosystem around it.
Let's see if we can solve this before the thing goes back up.
Delulu whales, that's right.
All right. Definitely not, but...
Do you feel whales are not fulfilled in life? I don't think that there's a singular... There is not a singular... like, personality matrix of whales. There are some whales that are poor and stupid. There are other whales that, you know, they spend $800,000 a month, and they only spend $50,000 a month on video games. Like, this isn't even in the top 3 things that they're wasting money on. And they're having a great life. They're super happy. So, no, that's not the case with all of them. There's no universal matrix. It's a spectrum of whales. That's right. This is the modern incarnation of conspicuous consumption. I mean, no, it's just, this is another version of it. Yeah, I mean, there it is. It's the ecology of whales. It is, right? And you need the whales and the little tunas and the little minnows and the little, you know, like, oh, it's little fish. The reason why they're there is that they think that one day, if they work hard and pull themselves up by their gills, they will once, you know, at one point become a whale. That's it.
We'll go.
But then they just end up at Red Lobster.
Enemy killing
The entire
Or
team,
Wong Jong
which
Silvers.
is reasonable because
Wherever the
Faker
fuck
wouldn't be
he
where
was
he is
there
without a team.
and
But
gave
not
us
only is
some
the 30% cut
probably
quite
I don't
bad,
fucking know.
but that also means that Faker directly gets even less. So overall, the situation is not amazing. But don't worry, we are not done with the drama just yet.
How could I have
Because there
expected
is
that?
one more thing we have to mention. At the very bottom, there is also an FAQ for this skin. And here they talk about how long the event will be up for, what the Hall of Legends is about. They even talk about how the pricing was decided. Long story short, it is for those who are looking to flex
culture, boys. I want to make a pay-to-win gacha game, but I want to make sure that the game is as dystopian as possible. I want to do it to where, like, poor people have to be slaves to people that spend money. If I can't have that interaction, it's not worth doing. Like real life, yeah, no, for sure, right? And there would have to be systems that would encourage, I think it could be a really good idea. And I will make the game, and by make, I mean I'd have somebody else make it. I would do it, and I would make it be like really cheerful. So it's not like you're a slave, you're like a mushroom worker inside of the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And so like it feels good, right? It's not like Pal World. You're a pal, right? Yeah, exactly. Like pals, like what's wrong with pals? That's copyrighted? I'll just think it's something else. It's okay. A happy slave in a happy kitchen. Yes, exactly. And I think that this could be a really, really great idea. And if I could do it and make it like harder, like interesting enough to where people would play it, I actually, you know what? I'm really going to think out the mechanics of this game and how everything would fit together. Because my goal would be to create the most disgusting social outcome possible. Because I think that's what would get the most people to play it. That's a really good idea.
Interesting.
It's their fandom.
Yeah. I really
for
like this.
$500. Yeah, do you remember feeling pride and accomplishment? Also, in another question, they mentioned that this will return annually.
Of course.
Yep. Riot plans to release a new $500 skin every year. But that's not the worst part. Somehow, things get far worse. And I mean, this is the bottom of the barrel of predatory practices. Because after setting up this ridiculous...
By the way, my opinion, I don't think this is predatory. The reason why I don't think that it's predatory is because you're getting what you're paying for, and it's not a mandatory purchase. I think predatory transactions should be ones that take advantage of a weakness. And I think that if you want to use the argument that FOMO is a weakness, you would paint with such a broad brush that at that point, all marketing is predatory, so the word is irrelevant. Predatory is like raising the price of insulin. This is a skin in a video game. It's ridiculously overpriced, but I don't find it to be predatory.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can choose not to be a victim. Does that make sense?
And after trying to bait people into buying something they will absolutely regret buying the next year,
it's not predatory, it's just absurd.
They drop the sickest line on the entire website. At current, this content is meant to be available for limited time only.
That's
and there are no plans to bring these cosmetics back.
Absolutely.
Likewise, there are no plans to add the Hall of Legends cosmetics to the loot pools, including rerolls.
Well, why would they do that? Because if they did that, then less people would spend the money. No shit. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? Yeah, obviously.
That's right. This is a $500 FOMO. If it was just $500...
Yeah, so this is... A lot of people are saying, is this gacha or not? Let me explain. This isn't gacha, but it's just this one. It's just it's another type of gacha. Gacha comes back eventually. Yep, there it is.
Dollars? Who cares? It's a skin the world won't burn. But if you say, hey, that's a $500 skin, and it will never return, well, now you are absolutely just baiting people into buying it.
Yeah, of course.
This is, without a doubt, predatory. Because you are exploiting
Again, this is what we're watching right now.
Impulsiveness.
I don't agree with that, because I think that all marketing is based off of one of the core tenets and core functionalities of marketing is creating a sense of urgency. Almost all tools and types of marketing do this.
It's time for the show.
Alrighty, chat. Let's get started. Welcome to the Healthy Gamer GG stream. My name is Alok Kanoja.
This is what we're watching.
Just a reminder that although I'm a psychiatrist, nothing we discuss on stream today is intended to be taken as medical advice. Everything is for educational or entertainment purposes only. Echo. Oh no, it's happening. Oh no. 1 second. 1 second. The echo is real. Okay, we gotta fix this.
Checking in with Dr. K and Ludwig.
Oh, wait, what? So this echo is real. This is a problem. Hey, you're live streaming, okay? We're live streaming with an echo.
Yeah, can you turn off
Oh,
the
I can't hear
monitor?
you because of this. Okay, so now how do we fix this? Because for some reason
Damn,
my
no
desktop
LeBlanc.
has
Oh
my
no.
audio.
However shall we play?
Can you turn off the monitors that we turned on?
Yes.
Definitely fix it. So just turn
Testing?
monitor off.
Yeah, that seems to have fixed it. No echo now,
Fix-
right?
Yep, there we go.
Chat?
So
Done.
much better.
Ooh.
Okay, so GG.
Well done, chat. Well done. Thanks. Okay. So, let's do it. The voices have taken over. All right, so we are super excited today, chat, because we're doing a couple of really cool things. We are going to be talking to the one, the only, the Ludwig. Ludwig is an absolute Chad. And let's play a YouTube ad while we're waiting now. Super excited. So I love talking to Ludwig. I think he is just very, very creative, very insightful. So I like to hear him talk about the things, and it doesn't really matter what the things are. So we're super excited. We're going to hop into that in just a minute. Before we begin, though, I want to just
Ludwig reminds me of Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. Honestly, thinking about it. Really think about it. He's in a committed relationship. He's going slow. He's doing meme things, especially with the basketball hoop. He's always looking for a new episode. And he has fun with it. Like, he just goes along with any of the bullshit that goes on around him, pretty much. Unless he's got to focus on school. So, take it as you will. But, yeah, I would definitely classify Ludwig as Marshall from Hymnium. Like, personality-wise, he's got a good meme. He always is up for a good trip, but at the same time, he's got his other focuses outside of what is the literally made him millions. He's intentionally slowed down since he has already started to get to the point where he's making millions, and he's just making sure that he's in the right sphere, but I really appreciate Ludwig. BRB guys, we'll get to ban phase here in a second. All right. We're going to turn the video back on and chill for a second.
So we actually have a sponsor for today's stream that we're actually like super excited about. It's like a good sponsor. Today's stream is being sponsored by the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So this is a number that y'all can call 24/7 if you're in the United States and the 5 territories, and you can get emotional support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free. So as y'all know, we do a lot of stuff supporting people's mental health. Here at HG, we don't always, we don't provide emergency services, which sometimes people will ask for or need, or they'll, people will be like, we'll see a post on our subreddit or something like that, or someone will post on Discord, hey, I have a friend in crisis, like, I don't know what to do. And so part of what we're always on the lookout for is resources for kind of a comprehensive approach to mental health. And we're grateful about the 988 Crisis and Suicide Lifeline sponsoring today's stream. You guys can check out the pinned message in chat for more information. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Crisis Lifeline in a little bit, but I want to hop right in, so let's do that. So we're going to do this. We're going to call
Attack speed's not
Blood
a terrible
Chad.
choice here,
Blood
but
Chad, where you
I
at,
think
bro?
I like that
There
page
you are.
best.
Can you count to 10 for
Hello?
anybody?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Beautiful.
8, 9, 10.
Beautiful. Let's do this.
He's even got another player sitting back over here in the T-Ramp. The nade is going to push him back, but on the repeat, Simple is just getting these kills back.
Imagine this, a mild to moderate eczema treatment that helps clear skin without pills, injections, or steroids. Imagine using one single cream to help kick the itch. No, it's not imaginary. It's Opsilura, eczema treatment.
Again, this is what we are watching.
Okay, so we got to do this. Hold on. Discord. Oh. Here we go. Okay. So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Oh my God, Market Basket t-shirt.
Yeah, you know Market Basket?
Hell yeah, dude. I love Market Basket.
I guess it's true. You went to Harvard. You're East Coast.
East Coast, but Market Basket was also like in Texas, like East Texas.
No, wrong.
Yeah, we had a.
I hate to call you out. You're wrong. It's not.
Yeah, no.
13 There's only 13 locations that spread across the East Coast.
In Market Basket? Hold on a second.
We can look this up. I would love to know something you don't know. That would make me very happy.
Okay.
Market Basket.
Okay,
Jamie,
do
can you
this.
pull this up?
Okay, so what I want you to do is go to East. Go to East. Go to East Texas.
Okay, wait. I found it. Market Basket, New England. And then you know how Wikipedia has that disambiguation thing at the top? For Louisiana and Texas chains, see Market Basket, Louisiana and Texas.
There we go.
Totally separate companies.
But that's the same logo.
It's similar. You are not wrong. They both decided to use red font, but they're not the same.
They're not the same?
They're not the same.
This is staggering, but they call themselves Market Basket?
Yeah, they're both Market Basket. But the Texan one was founded in 1962, and the New Hampshire started one was 1917.
Wow, that's fascinating. I didn't realize it was a different Market Basket.
God, I can teach you these things if we talk more.
So I was thinking about this actually recently. So I'm very curious about your ability to learn new things.
I carry the legacy of the Basani.
And so a lot of people, when they like try to learn new things, they lack confidence in learning the new things.
Been there.
Yeah, I'm
He
curious
won.
because it doesn't seem that way.
He won lane off that.
Like a big part of what you do is like do new stuff. Like that's part of what you do. Like that's what makes I enjoy watching you because it's not going to be the same game every single day. It's going to be something new, something interesting, something innovative. But the other interesting thing is you appear to not suck at all of those things. So what I'm super appear to.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't suck. You may
Sure.
suck.
Sure.
So I'm super curious about your journey. We can talk about whatever you want to, but I was personally curious about your journey of being comfortable with things that you suck at.
Okay, you know who enlightened me on this subject?
Who?
A one Gotham Chess.
Okay.
You know Levy?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know him, but I'm familiar with Gotham Chess. I really like his content.
Before he was a very successful, I'll turn myself down a bit. Before he was a very successful chess teacher, or excuse me, before he's a very successful YouTuber, he was a successful chess teacher. And one of the things that he's told us is like, hey, when you teach a child how to play chess, they're so much like better as learners because they don't get embarrassed about what they are learning. They just learn the thing. And if they mess up, they don't care. They'll just like throw ideas out. But then when an adult attempts to learn chess, they get real like shameful. And they're like, I don't know if this is like a stupid idea, but I feel like maybe you should go D4 here. And they're like, they don't want to fail. And so I think they throw out less ideas. I do this. I'll give you an example.
Which one?
This shameful thing.
Okay, I'm scared now because he's playing way too well.
Like, okay, I do Japanese lessons.
Okay.
Because I'm doing a motorcycle trip across Japan with Michael Reeves. And I want to like know Japanese because I'm going to be in middle of nowhere Japan with Michael Reeves. And he doesn't know Japanese that well. I don't know Japanese. And so these Japanese lessons, they've been going great. But recently, like I haven't been keeping up as much. So my vocab's like a little shoddy. So I have OpenAI ChatGPT on the side. And if there's a word that I have to translate, like a vocab word, and I should know it because he taught it to me before, I type it in.
Is that some way of learning, though?
I think so, but I think ultimately, like, there's a teacher right there who I could just be like, hey, wait, how do you say hot again? And he'd be like, Atsui. But instead, I'm throwing that shit in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT tells me.
And how do you say cold?
Fair enough.
Buddy, that's above my pay grade. That is above my pay grade. I could not even... Wait, actually, I can tell you.
Samui, I think.
It is...
Is it Samui? Did we get this right?
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
Samui is, if I remember correctly, it is Samui.
Yes. Did you ask ChatGPT?
Right then? No, I couldn't get there fast enough, so I read chat.
Nice.
I'm living my best.
Nice.
That's super cool, dude. But has something changed in terms of your shamefulness? Like, do you feel, because like you seem like really good at trying new stuff. So I'm curious. So you said Gotham Chess taught you this, but like, so that principle is one thing. But then, do you?
Self-hatred.
How do you have you applied it differently now?
I mean, I think I tend to do that, right? Like, I think but it's like a constant battle because I can feel the desire to, like, you know, not want to admit I don't know a bunch of shit and not want to, like, start from ground zero and not want to be a dumb adult, but, like, I am a dumb adult. So, like, I feel like it's like I fully know the lesson, but applying it is a little harder. So I'm trying to apply it in most cases. And, like, even this ChatGPT example, I did it in one lesson, and then I went on stream and I said I did it. And then I let everyone make fun of me, and now I probably won't do it next lesson. I'll just talk to my teacher.
Do you do that a lot, where you own up to or publicly acknowledge things that you find internally shameful?
Holy shit, that's a thing?
Maybe not necessarily, like, internally shameful, but, like, things in general. Oh, hello, gamer. I'm in call right now. Yeah, I think so.
So
I think owning up makes it feel.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
Was that? Have you always been able to do that?
Interesting.
I didn't used to know. No, I think my mom convinced me it was a better idea than the alternative, which is like not owning up to it.
And how did that convincing go? What convinced you?
So I guess, like, okay, here's the example. It was I was late to art class in, I want to say, like, high school. And
bullshit.
And I just, like, it was after lunch, I was dicking around the locker rooms, and then I got late, and then the teacher was like, "Hey, you have to have your parents sign if you're late." And then like I kind of blanked on it. Whatever. I forged my mother's signature.
Nice.
Apparently, not as good as I thought. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. But what ended up happening is they found out. Like I sent it to the school,
Cool.
and then they like, I guess had a version of my mom's signature, and they went side by side, and they were like, okay. And then they called my mom in, and then they called me into the principal's office while I was at school. I didn't know my mom was there, and then they like made me own up. Anyway, the whole entire thing sucked. Ended up getting like a Saturday detention for a few hours. But after that, my mom was like, hey, if you just tell me, like, I will be more
Weird
understanding
lane,
than, like,
guys.
these
Weird
random people
lane.
and strangers. And so you should just like, even if you forged it, just be like, hey, I'm forging your signature, and then like at least I know. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's cool. So it sounds like she really had your back. And yeah, you know, I always thought that the best way to bypass that scenario is to always forge your parent's signature from day one, right? So that there's consistency.
Yeah, and you get better at it.
Yeah, and then there's nothing to compare to because you're always forging their signature.
Well, I did continue to do it. I would just tell my mom after.
Yeah,
and I got better. I did like a practice session
with her.
Yeah. I was like, okay, the P's. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, because I think, you know, it's interesting because multiple people have told me that they appreciate your confidence, and so I was like,
multiply told you about my confidence?
Yes. Oh yes.
Wow. Okay.
And so I was kind of curious because like now I'm talking to you and I'm like, okay, where does Ludwig's confidence come from? And I was curious what you had to say about that. But because I think you're gonna learn something. Not to put you on the spot. If you have nothing else to say, that's okay. You can just talk about whatever.
No, we talked about this last time, I think.
Did
where
we?
my confidence comes from. I believe. I mean, I think a lot of my confidence comes from like
social anxiety.
My
literally, it's social
internal
anxiety.
belief that like everything will work out. So it's like you can kind of do everything blindly, confidently, and it's better to do things maybe confidently in wrong, because even if you do a wrong decision, it'll work out.
And do you have a sense of, we may have talked about this, I may just have forgotten, where that sense that things will work out, like where do you get that? Have you always had that?
Even the smallest moments.
Well, because like they have to, because like it just always does, because like the world keeps spinning, you know, like what does not work out really mean? And it's like, okay, well, it wasn't an ideal situation to be in. It was like potentially devastating financially, emotionally, mentally, whatever. But like, sun's gonna go down, sun's gonna come up. You have to live the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Are you kidding?
Next year. So like, I think eventually the results will work out.
Bro, like, just show up. You were right there.
Okay.
Which is why I'm cool with like, you know, the whole like my job going to shit, and then me like leaving and everything failing, because like, you know, I'll figure something else out, and that'll be fine. And I can just enjoy that.
What do you mean your job going to shit and you leaving and failing? Is that before you became a content creator? Are we talking about, did I miss something?
No, that's now. But that's why I feel.
Did something happen?
In my job?
Yeah.
No, but like it will go to shit.
Okay.
One day. I'm not gonna be here at 52 probably, entertaining 18 and 24-year-olds. I don't think so. And I don't think 50-year-olds are gonna be watching YouTube live streams. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just assuming that things are gonna fall apart at some point. And but it also sounds like falling apart doesn't really sound like falling apart. Like things will end, but there's like a connotation with falling apart that you don't really lean into too much.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't.
There's
know
no way, bro.
Beautifully. It could also be my 1 terabyte hard drive of me saying slurs that gets leaked. Whatever it is, less gracefully. But I think either results, it would work out.
And what do you mean by workout? What is
like
your definition of workout?
Regroup myself and deal with the new surrounding situation. What's that shit called? That treadmill? Something about a treadmill.
Hedonistic treadmill?
Is that the one?
That's one of the treadmills.
Interesting.
Is that a treadmill where you can adapt to where your life currently is?
No, that's a completely different treadmill. The
What treadmill is that
hedonistic treadmill.
I won't forget.
I don't know which treadmill you're talking about, but the hedonistic treadmill is like when you engage in a dopaminergic activity, the joy that you get is temporary, and you basically have to keep climbing, right? So like one cookie will not like make me happy for the rest of my life. I need to eat another cookie and another cookie and another cookie.
Does it work in reverse?
What? First, define what you mean by reverse. And now,
let's say.
Fun. I love talking.
Let's say like okay, so you're saying when you get a huge dopamine rush, you catch up to it. What if you have a huge dopamine fall, like you had a big breakup or lost your job or something?
What do you think?
I think yeah.
How so?
I don't know how it works in the treadmill analogy, but I feel like, you know, you maybe like eat shit, fall on your face because it goes slow so fast, but then you have to get back up on the treadmill and start walking again.
Yeah, so I think generally speaking, this is what's really crazy, is that I think the opposite is also true. So if you look at it I'm agreeing with what you said, yes. So if you look at it historically, basically just about every religious tradition, maybe like Shinto doesn't apply, but most of these like religious or spiritual traditions will have asceticism or deprivation of positive things as part,
Aestheticism, like aesthetics?
Nope. Asceticism. ASCETISM.
Interesting.
Asceticism. SISM. So that is like an ascetic is like a monk, like someone who doesn't engage in worldly pleasures. So they'll basically. Eunuch is different, but and actually eunuchs will sometimes engage in.
This is
there's
what
actually
we're
a
watching
really
in the
interesting
background.
correlation between becoming a eunuch and engaging in more sensory pleasures. So we're not quite sure about this, but maybe when you lose your gonads, your sensitivity. So first of all, you're like more likely to get more obese. And then if you look at like fat cells are not just storage. They're actually like hormonally active and can do things like insulin resistance and cravings. And so historically there are a lot of accounts of eunuchs being like very like hedonistic, but they just
like when
can't.
a blind person hears better. Someone with no balls starts feeling better.
I wouldn't quite say that the mechanisms are the same, but the analogy is a very good one. So yeah, so it's like that obesity makes you more sensitive to food. And so eunuchs will sometimes just like become really, really obese.
Okay.
But anyway, it's fascinating. But going back to what you were saying earlier, so like, yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at it, the basic problem is that anytime we engage in a dopaminergic activity, we develop tolerance to it. This is why, like, you know, the first hour that you play a video game is more fun than like the fourth hour that you play. So the interesting thing is that there's something weird with our brain where if we like work a full day and then we play video games for 2 hours, that is more fun than playing video games for like 8 hours.
Yeah, I'm so good at video
depriving
games, guys.
yourself of something
I'm so
and
good.
then engaging in it or limiting your exposure to something then enhances the thing later. So this is where a lot of people get tripped up because we have a society that tries to like give us a lot of instant gratification. And the more instant gratification we get, the less we enjoy it. And if you want to enjoy things, a limited amount of deprivation is actually like really, really good.
Can I offer a counter?
Yeah.
A lot of people are bringing up that this is similar to gooning.
What is gooning?
God, I'm gonna teach you
Just
so
like
much today.
Goonies?
I'm gonna teach you so much wisdom. It is kind of like
lay it on me, brother.
Goonies in a way. So like gooning. Do you know about the allegory of the cave?
No.
Like the shadows and all that?
No. More wisdom.
So basically, gooning is like, it's like you have a goon cave and you're watching some. You know what edging is?
Yes.
It's like that. It's like that.
What do you mean?
It's crazy
like
because
okay, so
I'm doing
here's
so
the
much
statements that I
damage
heard.
and my
Do you know what
KP
gooning
is
Do you know the
-7.
allegory of the cave? Do you know edging? And between cave
6.
and edging, there was shadows.
Definitely
so, like,
6.
These are the 4 words that have been assembled.
The only reason I brought up the allegory of the cave is because you can oftentimes have a goon cave. It's the only relation to the allegory of the cave. It has nothing else to do with that story. But so I pivoted away from it. But yeah, gooning is a very popular word right now. But it is ultimately edging. But there's like goon communities online, and people talk about what they goon to, and how long they've been gooning.
When you say goon,
interesting.
Is gooning the same thing as edging?
I think it's more communal than edging, because edging, I think ultimately you still bust a load, just a huge giant fat one, and then gooning, I think is more like you just be gooning for a long time, right? You're just gooning.
What does that mean?
You just stay gooning, man. You just stay gooning.
But when you say stay gooning, I still don't understand what the verb gooning means.
Like you stay edging.
Okay, so so this involves
no release,
sexual stimulation without any kind of.
Yes. Stay gooning, never bust.
So how is that a counter argument to what we're saying?
What were we talking about right before?
We were talking about how
you're talking about withholding,
depriving yourself of some pleasure before engaging in the pleasure.
Right.
Right. Like eating. Let's say we eat healthy all week, and then we have pizza on the weekend. That pizza will be more satisfying than if you eat pizza every day.
I imagine a Goons Maxer would probably really enjoy like a sexual relationship with another person.
Yeah, so how is that a counter argument?
Oh, did I say counter argument?
Yeah.
I meant like plus argument.
Plus, okay. I was like, yeah. I mean, I think if people are, and there's a lot of stuff with like celibacy or brahmacharya and all that good stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff around sexual pleasure. Yeah, go ahead.
I remember my counter argument.
Okay.
Elden Ring.
Okay.
That is not a game that I think would be fun to limit yourself to like a couple hours a week or a day. Or maybe a day, maybe. But you kind of need to dive into the universe. You know what I mean?
Well said. So I think it's a good counter argument, but I think Elden Ring is actually a really good argument.
At least I did some.
Too, because I think Elden Ring is very good at denial of reward.
So Elden Ring itself does the job.
Yes.
You're actually so right. Yeah. Because you die. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it does take it. Oh my god.
Yeah. So and I think Elden Ring, that's what makes a truly like great game is that it is immersive, right? So you lose yourself in it. Mm-hmm. But the other thing to kind of think about is like, let's talk about playing Elden Ring. Like, so if we waited a few years for Elden Ring, and that's what made it so great. So if we had Elden Rings every single day, they would stop being fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's a video series about that. I forget who does it. I think Iron Pineapple, but he plays like so many of those games, like Soulsborne knockoff games. I think they definitely look like they're getting not fun if you keep just trucking through them.
So I think it's, but I'm all for immersion. I think immersion has a different quality. Like to get lost in something is very engrossing. Whether it's like,
what's the last thing you got lost in?
I still remember his laugh.
Let me think. What is the last thing I got lost in? So I really liked season 1 of Tokyo Vice.
Oh wow, I read that book, the Jake Adelstein book about the journalist.
So I watched the show. So
no, I heard it's a great show too.
Yeah. So someone told me it was a great show, and that was because I was withdrawing from Shogun, which is also a great show.
Yeah.
And was my favorite book for many years. Mm-hmm. Which also was something that I got lost in the first time I read it, the second time I read it, and the third time I read it. So I think those are the two most recent things. I also picked up Dota again recently, so it's easy to get kind of lost in that.
Do you feel good about that decision?
Mixed feelings. So generally speaking, I allow myself like a serious amount of Dota once every 3 to 4 years is what it comes down to. I probably play for about 20 to 50 hours a year. And then once the gooning gets too much,
right,
then every 3 to 4 years, I'll like play like 100 hours of Dota.
Okay. I see. So this is in your Dota on phase, and you will eventually, tire yourself out from it.
Yeah, or I'll just what really I don't tire myself out from it. What I realize, so I'm actually doing this internally right now. I will stop playing Dota, or instead of playing Dota, I will write a chapter of my next book. And I am actually doing,
You'll do work.
I wouldn't even call it work. So I know it's weird. So what I'm actually doing is I'm measuring internally what the cost of 1 hour of video games is.
Is that healthy to do? Because I think a lot of people do this.
Is what healthy to do?
To measure the cost of something when you could be more productive with that time. Like, if I play a game of Valorant, it's about 45 minutes. I could be more productive with that time, both career-wise, but maybe like relationship-wise.
So I think the attitude with which you do it is very important. So a lot of people will beat themselves up for wasting time.
If I play like 3 games of Valorant and I D-rank in those games, I will wish the sweet release. I don't want to be around anymore because I'm so sad that I wasted those 2.5 hours playing that dumb shit game instead of hanging out with my beautiful girlfriend or doing work.
Yeah, so I think that's a very shame-inducing cycle. That's why we
Yeah,
keep
fuck
doing it,
'em.
right? So if you look at video games, what happens is they punish us, and then in order to deal with that negative emotion, we have to go back to the game because it suppresses our negative emotional circuitry. So I do something slightly different, which is that I ask myself on this given day, would I rather, like, if I don't play for this hour, I'm not depriving myself of playing for 4 hours or anything like that. There's no beating myself up at the end. It's just like, on this day, do I want to start playing this Dota game right this second? Or can I wait 1 hour and then start playing? And I'm just going to do that. And I'm literally trying to measure how many, so what is the, like, how many hours of Dota do I have to give up to write a book? And the crazy thing is, I think you don't have to give up many hours. Like, I think if you give up 10% of the hours, like, it's crazy how much time that is. Like, it's crazy how much you can accomplish in a very small volume of time. So we're not even talking about quitting gaming or cutting back by 50%. We're talking like 2 or 3 hours a week.
Well, okay. Do you ever play MMOs?
I used to.
What'd you play?
I played a little, I played WoW. And when I say a little bit of WoW, that's in relation to other people. So I had like 1 or 2 level 60 characters. I did maybe 2 or 3 raids. Like
we're going skim. We're going skim side after
and then, like,
this.
So, like, one of the raids and one of the expansions.
So it's a good amount of time in.
Yeah. So a couple hundred hours.
I played RuneScape. Probably similar time investment. And one day, I was like, dude, like, I'm dog shit at soccer. I'm not on the starting roster. My grades aren't good. And everything I'm grinding out in this RuneScape game, I could just grind out in real life. And ultimately, these RuneScape stats, even if I get a skill cape, will not, further the stats that I can get in real life. And I stopped playing, and I never played an MMO ever again.
That's what ultimately, like, so when I have my Dota binges, at some point, so here's the cycle of my like game getting lost in the gaming. It's like, let's play something, and then it's kind of fun, and then you lose, and then you're like, I'm fucking tired of losing. Like, I can actually get better at this, and I can win. And then what starts happening is I start developing like deliberate practice to get better, and then I'll start getting better, and it's rewarding. And then one day I'll wake up and I'll like think to myself, well, hold on a second. If I'm going to spend like deliberate practice and focus on getting better at something, do I really want to spend like 200 hours improving at Dota?
And DC.
Or would I rather, and this is the thing, I write about 600 words an hour. The average nonfiction book is about 80,000 words.
That's so many words an hour. 600 words an hour?
Yeah.
That's 10 words a minute. That's a lot of words. I have a 200-word essay due tomorrow. I'm stressed.
200-word essays are very hard.
I'm saying.
I think Mark Twain or one of these other people said, if I had you, I'm sorry for writing you such a long letter. If I had the time, it would be shorter or something like that. Writing in a small amount of time is harder. Vomiting onto a page, like rants on the internet, like that's easy to do.
Do you find your books to be vomits on the page?
No, but they also have to. Books, I've written one, arguably two. One of them has never seen the light of day.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's bad.
Okay.
So I wrote a book about video game addiction before I started streaming. And I tried to get it published. And what I realized is, like, people think, like, oh, it's like a waste of time if you write a book and don't get it published. I think one of the best things you can do in life is write a book and never get it published. Because what I realized,
So the act of writing?
Oh, yeah. So what I realized is part of the reason, like, we grew so fast on Twitch is because all of my thoughts had been worked through. So now when I open my
DCing,
mouth,
guys.
it
I'm going to
sounds
stop
like
the
I'm
stream
super
until I
competent.
move into
But
Sims.
the reason I'm super competent is because my brain